Don't say that.
Okay. Just in case.
Just hit him with.
Y'all was about to have Dane on, wasn't you?
See, man.
I would log the fuck off.
We gonna
cannot.
because
I can't do damaged men no more, man.
I was gonna ask him, hey man, what? Talk to us, bro. We a family. We gonna bring you in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I really wanted to know. That man came in my inbox. He gonna retreat to my inbox after y'all fire him, and then he gonna try to come holler at me. Anyway,
you fired him from admin months ago.
And he didn't even know it. That's the crazy part.
That's the crazy part. I didn't know nothing about him until it was time to fire him. So that's how he got on my radar, knowing that he was like his time was coming.
How y'all had that man come in and work and then send him a pink slip?
Like 10, 15 posts a day.
Ooh, boy.
And it all be some red pill type shit.
What's funny is he was going hard with you today, saying, "Who hurt you?"
Me? No, not me.
No, me.
No, he was talking to Sheffy saying, "Who hurt you?" And it's like, it's pretty evident somebody hurt your ass.
Right, like, sir, you got on this live and talked to us about how your mama was, and then now it's like,
hey man, hey, that's what I'm saying. That's why we want to have. That's why we got to have a conversation, man. We definitely have to.
So was he a guest or not?
I invited him. I don't know if he'll make it, because if he make it, we're gonna have a pause. We're gonna have a pause, and we're gonna life coach him. We're gonna life coach him.
Anyway, he needs therapy and Zoloft, like both together.
Oh my God. Anyway, well, we got people watching, so we're gonna jump into it. Okay, so the first question I got is, what is the craziest situation y'all have found yourselves in when y'all was trying to engage in sexual relations? And I'm gonna play this video first, because we always got a video. I think this is a bit wild, but I need to know what's the craziest thing y'all have had to do or been involved with when y'all was trying to get it in and be grown.
I'm gonna break my fucking legs.
Go down. Hold on.
Yeah, like Cardi, it's not gonna
Hurry up, man. Hurry up. Look. Keep going down.
Make it stop.
So I'm gonna let it play again, because I don't know if y'all can quite see what's going on.
Yeah, I can't tell what's happening.
So climbing out the window.
She climbing out of a window, and it ain't the window that's on the ground floor.
That's about second floor.
That's my third.
It's either the second or the third. But look at the drop.
Third.
I think that's close to third, because that drop was kind of far.
Yeah.
Look how she looking at him. I think he pushed her. I think he just pushed. Hey man, let go. Just let go. She had to go. Look.
No, that's the second. Ooh, that's the third.
It's the third. I'm telling you, that's the third.
He said the leaves down there, you'll be all right.
Yeah, the leaves are soft. They'll brace your fall, baby.
Yeah.
Have y'all listen? I think we have. I don't know about y'all women. I don't know. I've never been in a situation where a woman has done anything like this. I have, however, been in situations where I've had to hide in the closet or do something because I was somewhere where I wasn't supposed to be. Have y'all ladies ever been in a situation where
never
after the fact you had to do something crazy?
No, I mean,
never.
Busting out a window on his apartment, maybe, but this, no.
Hold on, wait. Why did you bust out the window on his apartment? No, Sheffy.
Okay, see what happened was, we were dating. He told me he broke up with his baby mama, and it wasn't the case. But he had asked me to come pick him up for work, and I did. And I came over, and she's standing in the window cussing me out. So I proceeded to whoop her ass in my work clothes. And I forget what happened, but in some kind of way, I busted out the window on his truck. So I still got the scars on my hand where I did it. I had a jack bust out the window on his truck. And then we ended up moving in together. And then she ended up at the house. And then I kicked out all the windows on the apartment because it was one of the basement apartments where you had to go down the stairs to get to it. And I kicked out all the windows on the apartment. Stuff like that. But never this.
What hold on, what Sheffy, that was so okay, for in that case
I was 20, like 22.
But in that case,
young, dumb,
but where a dude
violent.
lied, I kind of when women do the craziest stuff because a man lied, I kind of give y'all a pass for that. I give y'all all a pass for that because I've been the dude that's lied, that's been on the receiving end of some shit, and I felt I deserved it. Anytime somebody gets lied to like that, anytime somebody gets lied to like that, then I'm like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, he was doing a whole lot of lying. That was also the dude that was beating on me too. So it was a lot happening.
So it was like, yeah, so there was a lot necessary there. What about you, Desi? You've never done nothing crazy in relation to or following up your sexual relation liaison? Nothing.
Never. I don't have no stories for you.
Really? Look at you.
No.
That's excellent. That is excellent. Jamel, you on here? Can you hear us?
Yeah, what's popping, y'all?
I don't know if you can see the video, but the sister is jumping out of what looks like a third-story window after her and the dude
tuck and roll
finished doing the do. And my question is, what's the craziest situation you ever found yourself in while having sexual relations?
I wouldn't say it was while I was having sex. I mean, I faked gay before in order to keep Shorty from getting beat up.
Okay, run it down. Hold on, run it down. What?
Yeah, so
hey girl.
So I was Shorty told me she was single, and she wasn't. She was living with her baby father and all of that, like everything, and I had no clue. I had literally zero clue. So I was on the phone, Jones, with Shorty. We had sex the night before. And long story short, homeboy came in the crib while I was on the phone with her. He snatched the phone from her, whatever, saying who this and all that good shit. And she had already told me the history of him beating up and all that good shit or whatever. So I faked like I was gay. And the next day, she ended up breaking dude off, like breaking up with him, whatever the case may be. We laughed about that shit for a couple weeks. She went back to him like a month later, but the shit was crazy.
Wow.
You told the dude you was gay?
I told him I was gay, which is why we was on the phone so late. I was talking to her. I was her, and the story was I was her confidant because they was going through something or whatever the case may be.
Yo, bro, we are brothers from somewhere far because I did so I won't share that story, but I did the exact thing one time. I was kicking it with a woman. I knew she was involved. I knew, and I had a random text or a message. I think this was Yahoo Messenger. Dude reaches out to me. And I noticed with the conversation, the way she was supposedly conversing via chat, it wasn't her. So I reached out to her another way and I was like, hey, is that you hitting me up on Messenger? She was like, nah. I was like, oh shit. She said, my husband got my Messenger open. She said, please don't. She's like, what is he saying? I said, no, don't worry. I got you. So I responded saying, you won't believe this, but this dude is so cute. And so he responded like, what? And I was like, yeah. And so I just responded as if, because I'm trying to preserve their marriage, because her and I had never been intimately involved. And even if we had been, I probably would have still saved it. But she didn't go there. In actuality, this particular woman, she was trying to cheat because of revenge. And I basically was like, this ain't what you want to do. You don't want to go down that path and detonate your marriage trying to get back even with your husband. That's going to be a problem in and of itself. Remy, what's up? What's the craziest thing you ever done when you was in a situation with sexual relations? This girl is jumping out of a 3rd-story window right after she gets dick down. What's the craziest thing you've ever had to do?
I almost had to jump out of somebody's 3rd-story window. Shit, her husband came home, and her ex-husband came home, and he was in the military, man. And I couldn't risk running out that front door, man. That was a damn marked shooter. I couldn't risk running out that front door, so I laid down at the side of the bed and prayed, man. Man, so in that situation, he ended up leaving. I know that nigga was in the car looking at me from outside in the car, but man, I did a brisk walk to my car and never turned back, man. So yeah, that was about the craziest situation I had to do to get away. I almost look like this girl right here.
Your leave out was looking crazy too.
Man, look, it was a wild time. Shout out to
Frank. Now, Frank does have a story.
Do I?
Frank, you have a story.
Dang,
I know you have a few, so you
business
might as well drop one. I know you have one specifically, but we didn't succeed that night, so that one don't count. So you gotta go to one when we was at the hotel and we had to hide behind them curtains.
Oh, that don't count. That was high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were trying though. We were trying.
Man, honestly, man, you know I'm a modest gentleman. I ain't put myself in situations like that. I was always loving, and I was safe about it.
Right.
So I don't got no story for this one, man. So sorry.
Hold on. I do have a crazy story. I went to go visit this chick, and it does involve me jumping out the window. But her dad came into the room. Oh my God. Man, her dad was holding her by the neck, walking her outside, trying to point out the nigga who was at my house. Bro, I didn't even know these niggas. I just joined a group of niggas standing in the corner and just started talking. She walked by with her dad, and her neck was in his hands. And I was just like, please do not look over here. Man, that was a wild, because she had a bat walking down the street. It was crazy. Yeah, that was wild.
You know what? I do have one.
I knew you had one. Thank you. Thank you.
I had to dig way back. So I was probably about 20, I think, 19 or 20. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And I was just on the phone. That was like that was always when the office was open. Those were my office hours, 2-3 in the morning. So she was like, "You come home to my house," and she lived at home with her parents. And I was like, all right. She was like, "You come to the house, I want to kiss you." So okay, shoot, cool. So I was wearing glasses. Contacts. So I knew it, but I had taken my contacts out because I was like, I ain't going nowhere. I didn't think I was going anywhere. So instead of wasting time putting contacts in, I put my glasses on and drove over there. And and so I took my glasses off before I got out the car. So it was dark, and on top of that, I can't see whether it's daylight or dark. So I'm walking blind while being led into the house or whatever. So while I was in there in the living room, it was her stepdad. He got up to get ready because it was time for him to get ready to go to work. So she heard him coming in the kitchen, and on the other side of the wall was the living room where I was sitting at. So I had a duck between like a china cabinet and the wall, and she ran into the kitchen trying to talk to him to distract him. She was like, "Hey, blah 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 blah," So I'm sitting there, like in this tight space in the dark, and I'm shaking. My whole body's shaking. I'm talking about, you know how the screen machine felt when you was coming to a stop. That's how bad I was shaking. And so when she finally talked them back into the room, she came back and she was like, you gotta go. So I jumped up. Now I still don't have my glasses on, so I'm running through the dark, already blind, whether it's daylight or night. And so I run to the car. It was like a sinkhole or something in their front yard. I trip in that, and so I finally make it to the car. And I was like, put the key in the ignition. I said, no, if I crank the car, they go hear the car crank up. And so I put the car. I just turned the key enough to put the car in neutral, and I just let it coast down the hill until I got about 3 or 4 houses down. And then I turned the car on it.
Oh my God.
Well, as per usual, I like to start it out with something a little light. I've got some dark stories, man. I've been arrested or close to being. I've been arrested once. I've been close to being arrested. At least another time. I think being a youngster. I'll tell this one real briefly. Being young, this is how Corey was born. Sneaking over to his mom's house in the summer, and I would sneak over to her house because she would stay at her cousin's house on the east side. So I'd sneak my ass right on over there. And so me and my homeboy Untavius, yes, his name is Untavius, we would go over there and we'd kick it. Well, the uncle worked overnight. So perfect, right? Except for this one night where he comes home early off the night shift. And when he came home early, we was downstairs and all you heard was the keys jingling in the door. And they got up, like you saw the fear, you saw their fear. So what they had, and oh my God, somebody said they had sex at an abortion clinic. Oh my God.
What? Jesus Christ.
What the hell? Whoa, Jan, oh my God. That's the
last time you could shoot up the club. So hey, boy.
You got to get home here.
Whatever.
Right before you got rid of it?
No. Explain. No, we need details.
What was happening?
Wait, how did you
have sex? Person on, man. Send the link.
Send the link. We gotta see the link.
Come on, Jamia. We got to hear you.
I am sending her the link because this.
I didn't know how that works.
Yeah, man. Oh shit. Wow.
You about to get rid of it. You about to be on that 3 weeks bed rest.
Getting rid of it.
I'm gonna assume
one more time for the roll.
She was waiting. Oh God, Jan. Oh my God. Let me go to this post real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. This ain't normal, but I got to go find her and inbox her and get her to come in and tell this story if she's willing. I be goddamn, ain't no way. This is just
For
bad.
real. We got to know.
Yeah, this is just bad. I'm gonna inbox her right now.
That's treacherous.
Is it though?
Okay. While we talking about her, I do have some bullshit. I did catch a nigga in my sister's room before. And when I caught him, I just was like thinking, because I was young when I caught him. I was
oh my God, Jen A said she was the patient. Oh,
I feel you, shit. Then you got to get that one more thing before they knock it out for 6 weeks. I mean, hell, after that you can't.
You know what? That's actually some real woman shit. That's some real shit right there. She gave him one more blessing before she was out of commission for a stretch. You know what? We were judging you all wrong. You are the MVP. We were judging you so wrong.
Can we give her a round of applause?
Absolutely. Like, dang, y'all lucky I ain't got my sound effects box.
Wow.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Okay, shit. Well, never mind. You don't gotta come on and explain yourself, girl. You just won us over. We appreciate you. Oh, and now there goes Angela, our last guest, tapping in. Angela, she said it was her idea. This keeps getting worse. What is going on? Oh, Jan. Oh, it's so bad.
Said you gotta wait. Anyway,
Angela,
hold on.
That's a spoiler statement, that boy.
Wait. So
I'm
Angela,
sorry, Manuel. I'm sorry. I got caught on a call and it went over.
No, you good. You good. You good. We shooting the shit before we get into anything serious. The question was, what's the craziest situation you found yourself in when having sexual relations? And this video is of a girl. She's jumping out of a 3rd-story window after her and the dude have presumably done what they were going to do. So what's the craziest thing you've done somewhere in and around sexual relationships?
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
Let me see.
When them eyes go up, that means she's got to pick a story. Goddamn.
No, I'm just trying to think, like, and it was bad, like something that I had to like get out of.
You're not necessarily proud of it. It's not your proudest moment. And she's
I gotta
proud
think
of all
about
the
that
moments.
one.
She's proud of the moments.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it was like awful. It was just like one time. Oh, I do know one, but I felt really bad. So I do know one. I'm sorry. So I was this was like when I was a little bit younger. It was the T-Mobile guy. And I went, he had threw a huge house party, and I went to the house party and we were totally jiving, but y'all, he pulled out his thing. I was like, oh no, we have to be friends. I couldn't do it. It was like this big. It was like huge.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Wait a
I
minute.
was like, and I was mortified because I didn't know what to tell him. And I was like, can I just suck the tip? That's all I got for you. I cannot put this thing in and I'm not lying. Like, it was literally like as big as my arm, and it was like huge. And I was so embarrassed because I had never seen anything that large before in my life. And I was so embarrassed. And I just said,
Don't be.
Mute up mic, my will. Mute it.
You hold on. You remember?
But it was
remember
embarrassing though, because I was just sitting there and I was like, I don't know what to tell him. Like I said, can we just be friends? He's like, why? I was like, oh, I can't. That's not gonna work. And he said it was really hard. That's why he didn't have a girlfriend.
Oh, Jan has joined us. Tell us this goddamn story. Hold on, boy. If we're able to get her on here, yes, we want this story. She might be able to get on here, because boy, if we gonna give her the stage and say, tell this damn story.
Don't leave.
I've never had to jump out a window though. That's pretty bad. Like, does she know the guy that well?
Jumping out of a window is pretty damn bad.
Yeah, that's bad. I would be like, you probably need to vet more.
He didn't even tie the bed sheets together so she can climb down.
He didn't assist.
Right.
I'm telling
help
you,
her at all. He just tossed her out that window.
And record her.
Hey man.
Is she making this up?
No.
You on the 3rd floor of what looked like an apartment, which mean that probably ain't his wife. Charlotte would have walked out the front door. Honey, we girlfriend-in-laws.
Wow.
I'm not about to come out the window.
You just gonna ruin the man's life. You don't care nothing about him. That's horrible.
Yeah, why didn't she go out the front door? Like, why didn't
honey,
she?
I would have been the cleaning lady or something, but I wasn't about to climb out no 3-story window.
Yeah, she almost broke her leg.
She looked like she's done it before.
Yeah, she didn't look down like she was scared. She just was like, I'm ready. So she definitely
she kind of braced herself. Okay, we got Jen. We got her on here. Listen, hold on. Hey, listen. First of all, let's do this right. So explain this story. I mean, shit. Explain this story. We don't know what happened was. Yeah, we don't know whether you're Satan spawn or MVP. We don't know which one.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure Satan. He and I were both married to other people. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. He and I were both married to other people. Yeah. And I ended up needing an abortion clinic visit as a result.
And that was that one go round before?
Well, yeah, it was my idea because, as you can imagine, I was a little stressed out. And they gave us a private room. I mean,
wait, they let y'all do it?
Hold on. They supplied the room.
Chevy, they know what you was about to do? It was a waiting area, like a waiting room area where you wait your turn for the old fetus deletus. You know, you gotta wait.
Damn, I would think y'all ain't lined up. Usually it's like a whole group of people in the room.
Right.
No.
Not usually.
I don't know about usually.
Yeah, it's usually. See, we go to them. We done been to them cheap ones. We been to the ones where everybody, hey dog, I know why you here. You know why I'm here. Yeah, bro. You ever been? You go to one of them places. All the dudes trying to fake like they got a sad look on their face. All the men trying to play sad when we like shit. Hey, bro, I get it.
We were both very sad. We were both very sad.
I've never been there.
So
I want to know, like, what's the like preparation before the doctor examine and start the procedure? Because I mean, so.
Oh my gosh! I just now thought of that. They probably knew.
They knew. Yeah, they knew. Yeah, they knew.
They knew.
They knew.
Ain't no way. I would have rolled you up off that
Oh
table.
darn! Oh my gosh! I owe that poor. I owe that poor doctor an apology, don't I?
Absolutely.
No, you don't. You made his day, man. That's some freshly used poem. That's like a little fantasy poem. You made his day, man. You made my day.
So yeah. So yeah, that's what happened.
Freshly used poem. That don't sound too good, but I mean,
I think you're partially the MVP. You gave him a sending off. There was going to be 6 weeks. You wasn't going to be able to get it in. I mean, you know, you might as well. I mean, you know, what's the worst that can happen?
It's not a 6 week. It's not a 6 week thing.
Oh, is it? What is it now? Is it like,
you're looking at more like 6 days. Give or take.
Oh, okay.
I mean, depending on how comfortable he is, like if he wants to hunt for Red October or earn his Red Wings, you know, he can totally do that. You know, it's whatever.
Absolutely.
Literally, everybody, great show. I'm really just here to listen to Southerners talk. I love listening to Southern people talk. I feel like I'm either like Martin Luther King is alive again, or
girl, I can't stand you. You know that.
I'm listening and I have a dream. That's all I got to say. This is
where are you from?
Ohio. I'm from Ohio. Nowhere. Alabama Junior. We're garbage up here.
Ohio got good food.
No, they don't.
We got Columbus. We got chili sauce dumped on top of spaghetti. That's all we got.
Where are you at? Because Columbus, Ohio has amazing food.
Yeah, Columbus does all right. That's true. Columbus does all right. I'm in Springfield.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I got family in Cincinnati.
I've never heard.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm about a couple hours north of Cincy, but only about 40 minutes from Columbus. So yeah.
So,
you sound just like
can y'all just pronounce a lot more words for me for my personal amusement?
Oh,
and yes,
really?
That's
This is what you're gonna do? This is not what we're gonna allow her to do.
No, we leaving a couple letters off the end all day.
Right.
I love it.
If you want to stay and partake in the next
one day, white children and black children will hold hands and learn about the content of the character.
I cannot.
We need to send her.
So for our next, hold on. So for our next particular topic, I know y'all. Did y'all see the video of the awkward date? Did everybody see that video?
You talking about with the tuna fish?
We finna go through it now because this shit is quite ridiculous. Tuna. And I need to know. I want to watch this, but I want to know how women react.
How are you?
I'm doing good with
Tania. Tyler.
Nice
to meet you. All right. You gonna have a seat?
Yep.
All right.
Man,
Not yet. I was waiting for you to get drinks.
Oh, okay. Are you drinking water?
For now.
Okay.
It's hot outside.
So where are you from?
I'm from California, but I've been here in town for a while.
Okay.
You live here?
Oh yeah, I grew up here, born and raised.
I feel like I've never seen you.
Okay.
So you must not get out.
I've definitely never seen you.
No.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
No.
How long what's the last relationship you had?
So I've been single now for almost a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely surprised to walk in here and just like, wow, like, you know, you look good and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, oh my God, like, okay.
Yeah, so you
got me nervous, you know, I'm like,
you should be.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. Flatter yourself.
I joke a lot. Tell me about yourself. So have you been like dating recently or?
Actually, I haven't dated in years. I've had trouble like finding girls.
But no, you said you haven't dated in a year or years. Sorry, I didn't catch
My
that.
last girlfriend, serious relationship, was when I was 15 years old.
Okay.
Other than that, I have not dated since.
Since 15? Okay.
Yep.
So not even on the social sites.
I just wasn't the most social person, you know, so. I think it's better to go ahead and reveal my addiction on the first date so we can just go ahead and not beat around the bush. I hope her reaction is acceptance, and I hope that the first thing she doesn't decide in her mind is just no. But I feel like we're having a good date. You know, as soon as I see a girl I like, I felt like before, I'd always want to let a girl know, like, this secret about myself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, it's okay if, you know.
What are you doing?
Ooh.
What is
Might
that?
be a little bit weird, but yeah, you know, like, it's basically I always keep a can of tuna on me. And, you know.
What? Why?
Thing is I actually have an addiction. That's why I wanted to tell you. I hope you don't judge me, but basically I have an addiction to smelling tuna.
Okay. Like, I love seafood. I'm from California. I've been on the coast, whatever. But I am not a tuna person. That is not my thing at all. Wait a second. Do we have to open that right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we good.
Tuna smells really bad. And I just want to let you know, you haven't dated in a while. And you haven't even, like, talked to girls in a while. So I'm just going to be very honest with you that this is probably not something. Please don't eat that.
I just, like, you know, definitely with this beer, I need something to, like, cleanse my stomach.
You know, when you came in, you smelled a little fishy, but I wasn't going to say anything. But
Because
now
I like to,
see
like,
why.
wipe a little bit on my neck. Well.
Yeah, that's not okay. That is a little excessive, and I don't think that I know anyone, including myself, or I've even met anyone that would be, like, okay with that. What? I know a lot of girls and women, I just don't see them wanting that. Sorry, it's a no for me.
I understand.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, you know, sad or anything, but.
Okay.
I'm not
Gotta let the
sad or
tuna go, bro.
It was just unexpected.
It's a little extra.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely regret opening the can. Like, immediately she was like, it's done. That killed it. Like, this is embarrassing, but I think that needed to happen.
Thank you for the drink, and thank you, you know, no thanks. He definitely needs to dump the fish if he wants to seriously date.
All right. Well, I was gonna say it was very nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too.
Now I know good and well the ladies on this panel would have. I know one of y'all is going to say that y'all would have possibly given him a chance if all other things about him were great, right?
Right. I mean, we're not gonna make it about the tuna. The dude is awkward altogether. Like, and that's the cherry on top. Like, why does that even have to be a conversation? Why are you leading with that and feeling like that's like the dun-dun-dun moment when everything else, like, he's socially awkward, he's moving weird, you haven't dated, like, you don't have nothing going on but this tuna situation. So you just gonna pin it on that? Like, come on. No.
But that nigga pulled the tuna out like he had a special talent.
Right.
Exactly. Right?
And he's really gonna lead with this narrative like, I just can't find a woman because they can't handle my tuna addiction. No, dude, you weird.
Is the show Bonwell's a show about addictions? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the show.
I don't know what that show was about, but it's just awkward as hell. And I'm just like, I know there are a lot of men that are awkward naturally. I think the tuna part was the cherry, like, you know, tuna part was the worst part of it. But even without the tuna, the way he was just approaching and communicating, he was already weird. You could see she was already like, what's up with
in the beginning when she started
with him? Yeah.
noises and sound effects and shit, that was cringy to me.
Yeah.
You talking about we was slurping the tuna?
Oh yeah, that was gross. Yeah. But to take it to a nursing psychological level, any addiction that you have, that's the definition of addiction. You can't live a regular life. It intervenes.
Right.
So any type of addiction, whether it's porn addiction, sex addiction, gambling, it always interferes with your life. Like, and so that's the definition of what addiction is, regardless of what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yes. I mean, no one's gonna like no woman's gonna go out with him because that's weird.
And see, so
what's more crazy? Sorry to cut you off. What's more crazy to y'all women? Is it the awkwardness in his conversation, the social awkwardness, or the fact that he started eating tuna? Which one would turn you off more?
It's the social awkwardness.
But he has an addiction.
The social
help for it. That's my thing. Like, you have an addiction. You need to get help for it in order to interact in the world as a whole. You're not going to go to work and start eating tuna in the middle of a meeting.
Right.
But maybe he has a job and he works from home. He can get away with it. So if you have an addiction, that's the first thing is self-reflection. You need to fix that. If you can't fix that.
I know there are women who grind like sand. Like they chew sand. There are people who eat.
But those aren't addictions. Those are iron. Those are deficiencies, like vitamin deficiencies that causes
right. That cause that. Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mm.
Yeah.
This nigga said he dabbing on his neck.
Even him just liking tuna, like that's not an issue. Some people can eat the same thing every day, not change up anything, never get tired of that same meal, whatever. It's the social awkwardness that just is a wrap.
So I wonder if smelly pum pum would turn him off, or would he be like addicted to like a nasty
this dude had to ask that question. Holy shit. What?
Because that could be like a situation if a girl if he's messing with somebody who has like BB or like
BV
like UTI or something, and it's smelly. I wonder, would that turn him on?
It might.
Because the smell is similar.
Yeah, that might be a turn on for him. Maybe he should link with somebody who has that issue, and then it's a match made in heaven.
But she's just gonna keep the issue forever for his life.
I mean, listen, if he eat that much tuna, whatever he's shooting in her, it's gonna cause some of them problems.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that's gonna just remain. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be a contributing factor.
And canned tuna on top of that.
Canned tuna, right?
Not even fresh tuna. He wants it in the can. Okay.
Well, he gotta have someone to store.
But there are a lot of men who are socially awkward when they go out on dates as a whole. It can very much be a turnoff. I remember I went out with one guy before. This was like maybe 5 years ago, and he was set up with the matchmaker, and we went out, and of course, he asked what I did, and I was like, oh yeah, I was a nurse, and I have a dance studio, pole dance studio, and aerial, and he was like, oh okay. He's like, that's cool. It's like, yeah. He's like, so what do you do when the lesbians come? And I'm like, what? He was like, what do you do when the lesbians come? I'm like, well, I don't know if they're a lesbian or not. I was like, I'm teaching them how to go upside down on the pole. Why would I know if they're a lesbian or not unless they're butch? And even if they're butch, that doesn't mean anything. It's a female studio. It doesn't matter who you date or who you sleep with. And I tried to change the subject. He's like, but I want to go back to this. So do they hit on you? Do they do this? And I was like, check. Give me a goddamn check.
So that's how you handle the awkward situation.
I was like, what are you doing? Why
Brother was fascinated.
He was being weird with the conversation.
Yeah, I don't do well with that.
Did he have his hands in his pocket while he's asking that?
With awkward guys, y'all just exit stage left as soon as
definitely.
It was over.
I don't even know how to pretend.
I paid and I was gone the fuck out. I was like, this is weird. I don't know why you're asking me a question about lesbians.
So my other question is, how many of those awkward guys are now passport bros, MGTOWs, Manospherigans, red pillars? Because I'm telling you, those awkward guys have to go somewhere. Where do they go?
Overseas or
over here.
They pay for their time. when you have an awkward situation, it's only two things. It's either somebody enjoys being around you, or you're gonna financially pay for somebody's time. I mean, there's only two ways out of this situation. You're not finding somebody who just fuck with you off rip. I mean, it's true. I mean, let's be for real.
Well, I think what's also contributing to it is that people are just not social like they used to be. A lot of people are on social media, so they've lost some of their skills as far as like interacting with people. Because I know for my age group of 40 and over, like we didn't have social media. Like we had to go to networking.
We had to interact.
We had to go. Like if you wanted to get business, like when I first started my studio, there was no YouTube, no nothing. I had to actually go to Copeland's here in Atlanta and go network with like 200 people every Tuesday. And it was a little nerve-wracking, but I definitely had to do it. If I didn't open my mouth, nothing was going to happen. So we had to learn how to be socially appropriate. But I'm always surprised how socially inappropriate women and men that are out there. I'm like, why are you doing this in public?
Hey, so funny story. About a month ago, I was at this pool party and I ran into this chick. So we just having conversation. The girl, so she introduced herself. She said, yeah, I forgot what her name is. Tammy. Let's say Tammy. She said, I'm Tammy. She was from Miami. And the bitch was like, and I got some good pussy. And then I was like, and she was young. She was like 27. And I was just like, this is how I know I'm getting old. Because before when I was younger, I'd be like, okay. Now I'm just sitting here looking at her like this. What?
Where's your dad?
What? Where is your father? Exactly. Where's your dad? Like, the hell you mean you got some good pussy? Okay. But yeah, things are very
listen, so I think y'all make a very valid point, man. Me and one of my fellows were talking about this at work today, that the fact that this new generation is so lazy when it comes to so many things, because social media and all these other platforms give them quick access to people. And so in-person interactions, people are walking around talking in memes. People are walking around talking, as if they're like texting this and some of them probably can't read social cues. They can't read facial gestures. Like they don't get in the moment when, bro, you can't say that, or homegirl, nah, you can't say that. At any rate, speaking of awkward, this is a little awkward. It's old. We've touched on this topic before a little bit, but your boy, what's his name, Malik Yoba. I'm not getting into what he preferred, but he's trying to understand the pronouns or whatever. And it's little in this excerpt I'm about to share, you can see he's struggling with it. And I'm wondering, like, should we even make an attempt? Look at what he's trying to do, and just it seems to be a lot of work. Hold on.
For all of you cisgender women, naturally born women who think that trans women
Assigned, not naturally born.
Okay.
Not naturally born. Nothing about it is natural.
I told you I make mistakes.
Nothing about that is natural.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, for women, what's the language I should say?
Assigned female at birth.
Okay, so for women who are assigned female at birth and stick to that,
and for whom that is consistent with how they identify,
and for whom that's a lot of words.
Stick with it.
Okay,
you are in a commitment for a stance. So
yes,
do the work.
Yes, ma'am.
Do the work.
Come on.
Teach me. Say it again.
Do the work.
Do it again.
For whom?
For whom?
It's consistent with how they identify.
Okay, so for women who were assigned female at birth and it's consistent with how they identify.
That's right.
Right.
So for those women who question and say that trans women are men, the question I then have for you, if they are men, would you sleep with them? Mic drop.
Wouldn't that make you a lesbian though?
No, that's the question.
So that was a lot of verbiage. And Mel, if you can, I don't know if you heard all that. I want to get your perspective on it first. That was a lot of verbiage to get an understanding. Women who's not assigned what at birth and then for whom they identify. Like, I would have to watch that like 3 or 4 times to even get it down myself. It's like memorizing a bar. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. And are we going too far in that direction with trying to?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we do with this?
It's becoming like bully culture. I feel like I totally respect. Honor and respect how a person identifies. I'm not going to go back and forth, about like if you identify as a woman, I respect that. What you want to be called, I respect that. But all the extra verbiage that is required to get out a sentence, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? You know who I'm referring to. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not doing it. I think that's ridiculous. All the inserts and cutting him off and saying, no, say this, now repeat it, now start over. No, I'm not doing that.
Right.
That's a lot.
It's just become to a point where to be politically correct, quote unquote, is satisfying a narrative that doesn't even need to be satisfied. And what I mean by that is like, if you as a transgender woman or man, if this is how you navigate your world, that's great for you. But you can't turn around and dictate how I navigate mine as a cisgender woman. I'm not about to do all of that. Well, you were assigned it at birth and da da da. No, I was born how I was born, and this is what I am. You're okay to navigate who you are as a person, but that does not give you a right to navigate me to better suit you. Like, no, we're not doing that. Like, why do I need to be supportive of you as a transgender woman, but you can't be supportive of me as a cisgender woman? Come on now.
And then to say, I'm sorry.
You good.
No,
women, that it's not natural.
This is right. Women, this is y'all.
It's not natural to refer to someone as, like, whatever was said about being assigned at birth. No, I wasn't assigned anything. I was born a woman. Like, that's just what it is. I'm not gonna reword it because, it's assigned.
And you know what? So that was my clap back to the whole concept of putting cis in front of. I've been explained 1,000 times that it's the Latin blah blah blah, the blah 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 refers to blah blah blah. I get it, but I'm one of these people. A Sprite is a Sprite. A Coke is a Coke. When it's a Diet Coke, you say Diet Coke. When it's a Diet Sprite, you say a Diet Sprite. When it's Sprite with lemon and it's not lime, you say what it is. You don't remix the goddamn original. I'm sorry, we not remixing the original.
They said that they Sprite remix.
There's no refit. There's no prefix that goes in front of men, and there's no prefix that needs to go in front of women, and there's no suffix that needs to follow. I'm sorry, I'm not with it. I've stuck to one thing and said, whatever your name is, I'll call you. If this dude,
I was gonna say that. I just say, what is your name? I just because that's the nice way to just be like when someone's like, oh, thank you. I'm sorry, what's your name again? Oh, my name is whatever. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate you doing that.
If a redhead dude,
I don't have to even have that conversation with people because I don't want to get frustrated. Because
if a redhead dude like Frank Deadwaller wants to be a woman and he wants me to refer to him as Ginger, I'll refer to him as Ginger.
Right,
you could be Ginger all day, but I ain't gonna call you ma'am. I'm sorry. I just had to throw you under the bus, Sam, because you got
I'm definitely not gonna call him Ginger. It's just not gonna happen. Like, it's not gonna happen. You see, the thing that's kind of confusing to me is that you have to understand, like, let's just say 9% of the United States population is transgender, okay? And then you have a 91% that's just whatever the fuck. There's no way I'm going to allow 9% to tell 91% of the population what to do. Like, yo, if we collectively just say, hey, fuck y'all, it's gonna be fuck y'all. Like, we just gonna call y'all what y'all want. We just gonna say, hey, no, you a boy, you a boy. If you're a man, you're a man, you're a girl, girl.
But
and
hold
so
on, wait. Well, flip that. What about when they flip the argument to then juxtapose that with black people being the minority and how, hey, the white power majority at one point wanted to refer to us as colored or us as niggas or us as this. They like to flip that and say y'all were the oppressed one time and people referred to y'all in a certain way one time. How do you argue that?
We still didn't choose this name to be called African American. We didn't choose that. Like, they still chose
the differentiator there is that I can't take off my skin color.
There you go.
You can decide whether today I'm going to dress this way or
but they say that it's not a decision. They say it's not a decision. They said this is how
it's not a decision mentally, but it's a decision socially because you literally can.
Oh, right.
Just because, and I'm not saying that, they'd be comfortable in doing that, but you physically can.
Mm-hmm.
I can't physically not be black. I mean, even if I did all the coloring, skin stuff, and all of that, I'm still going to be black. But man, I'm just frustrated because I'm an advocate all day. I am, but it's becoming a little much. It's don't dictate my lifestyle because I don't dictate yours. If I'm going to be supportive of you, I need you to be supportive of me too. Because
remember a long time ago.
We got
a long time ago. See, I remember a long time ago when we told our black women, y'all don't need to advocate for this. Y'all need to sit this one out. Now they done embarked on y'all territory. Y'all see what happened when men comes into y'all space? We invade, we dominate, and we take over. And that's exactly what they did. They invade, they dominate, they take over. You should have put up walls.
They said they're gonna be better with than the real woman.
That's what happens when you allow men to play on the playground. They take over the playground. They
So
don't
when you
share.
guys say like, I'm not gonna call, like if it's a trans woman and her name is Ginger, and you're not gonna call her by Ginger, are you talking about people that you can obviously tell? Because there are some that you can't tell. I mean, it's getting.
I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna
it
call
can be
them
hard. Like
whatever they
there's a
whatever
club
they
in
name
San
they
Francisco.
whatever name they want to be.
Forget that. Like,
whatever a person identify as, I'm gonna respect that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm just not about to keep on rewording how I say things, especially when I am mindful and respectful. So when it gets to extreme to the point where I can't finish a sentence because I'm saying everything politically wrong, I'm not. And then the person on the video said, "Do the work." No, I'm not going to prioritize that. I respect you, and that's it. Like I'm not what do you mean do the work? It's so much other work that needs to be done. I'm not prioritizing that. I'm just not.
Yeah, and I agree with Chanel. Like I will respect you. I don't want to be disrespectful to a human being.
Right.
If that's because we're all human. But when I have to call myself cisgender around people, I'm like, well, no, I'm a woman. Like I want to be able to use the term that I identify with. I don't want to have to call myself cisgender because that's weird. Like I don't like.
Keep in mind that I will refer to myself as cis woman, and I mean I get all that, but the rest of it is a headache.
It does sound like it does sound like it's beginning to get like it's beginning to be a bit much. So and I won't harp on it too much, but I wanted to get y'all thoughts on it.
I mean, it is becoming a little. It's becoming overwhelming. I know I did a course on orgasms for women in Valentine's Day, and then someone had emailed us about the course, like, "Oh, well, my girlfriend doesn't identify a woman, but she has a vagina. You know, you would probably make more money." No, she don't. But she's like, "You would probably make more money if you included them too." I was like, and I mean, we didn't really respond. I was like, "Look, if you got a vagina and you got a clit, that's all that I'm worried. You know, if you don't identify with your clit, then I can't help you with your pleasure." I was like, I'm trying to work with women. You know, we got a little frustrated. I was like, well, don't tell me that I got to work with everybody. There's programs out there for trans women that are women who are well more educated on what you are going through, but they're making me feel bad. It's like, well, you should be educating yourself on this too. I'm like, no, I like my clit. I like my vagina. I like my pussy. I like the way that it is. And I want to help other women
talk that shit.
Yeah, I want other women to love their pussy and what it can do for them. I don't.
Y'all not talk that.
I don't
want to love pussy on this panel. Shit, boy,
I don't want to. I don't want. It's not that I don't want them to thrive. It's just not my. It's not my sandbox. It's not my area of expertise. Like I did labor and delivery for 10 years. It's my choice if I don't want to go and learn about all of the things that trans women go through. And that's the problem that a lot of people are having. They're making people like myself who's doing education for women who have vaginas, who were born with vaginas. And I want to be clear, women who are born with vaginas, not transformed, because that's a whole nother, that's a whole nother thing that you need someone to deal with when you've had surgery down there. It's still different. And so I don't feel educated on telling them what to do. So I'm doing that out of respect of not telling you the wrong information.
I was just about to say that. That should be respected.
You said that with your chest. You saw how her eyes popped when she said that. She said, "I'm doing you a favor when I ain't telling you."
No, that definitely should be respected. Like you're choosing to stay in your lane. Why force you in a lane that you're not comfortable with versus going somewhere where someone's already educated in that arena and you can get what you need?
Right. So a lot of sex educators, we're being told that we need to be more inclusive and that we're being transphobic because we're not including them in a space of an orgasm course for women who have vaginas. I'm like, but you don't have a vagina yet. Some of y'all don't have a vagina. You still have a penis. So we're talking about anatomy of a clit and a vagina. That's what we're talking about. So if you don't have that, I can't
help you.
I can't help you, but that doesn't mean that I'm transphobic.
It's no different than
that's the issue that I'm having, that every time you disagree or you don't jump on, that you're transphobic, and I take that very seriously.
Yes.
When people say that this is not a safe space, that means to me violence or something like that, where you can you're fearing for your life. Disagreeing and fearing for your life is two different things.
Right. Absolutely.
That's that. And so when you're calling people transphobic, you're making them feel like they're horrible people and that we're trying to kill you or something. And most people honestly just don't give a two hoot nannies about what you're doing in your house, to be honest. But that doesn't mean that we're transphobic though. So we need to redo that word. That word is not it. It's not.
And I notice a lot of times whenever people are talking about this subject on social media, that that term gets thrown around, and a lot of times it's the education situation, like you mentioned with your class. If you have to be educated in that area, it's not a matter of transphobia. It's like, I don't understand. So if there's something that you want to expound on, I'm all ears. But it doesn't have to go left and be a whole think piece about how nobody respects, how there's no respect in that area, and making it a whole nother thing. It's not that.
Correct. Yeah. And I feel like they're making it a whole nother thing. And I don't want to say invading, like I said, just making us feel bad because we don't want, they're like, oh, you're not trying to include us. I'm like, it's not that I'm not trying to include you. I just don't know. And I don't have time right now to go and get all this information about all the trans surgeries that are out there right now, because there's other things going on. I got 90% of women out here who are not having an orgasm. I'm trying to help them with that.
So, I got a question. Women that have a vagina identify with that and own it and all of those things. Not people who have it and want to call it something else or don't feel comfortable with calling themselves a woman or whatever. Women who are connected to their vagina and want to learn more about their vagina.
Correct. Exactly.
What I think what's going to really turn this thing on its head is, say you have an OBGYN. Oops, sorry. You have an OBGYN. Are you now going to force the OBGYN to deal with pre-op trans women because they navigate women's issues like a women's health center type of thing? Or are you going to the urologist? I mean, why isn't that the same in other things? Everybody has a specialty. If your specialty is dealing with cisgender women with vaginas, then that's okay. But I don't see people out here trying to make the OBGYN see the woman that still has a penis. So why is everybody else being forced to do this? Like, I'm all for everybody living their best life and being comfortable with who they are, having access to resources, all of this. But I am not going to force myself to learn a whole bunch of new stuff outside of my specialty just so you feel included, when there are other people out here who are doing the work. Just go to those people.
Right. That's what I was like. Let's go to the trans women group that talks about orgasms for trans women.
Hold on, y'all. Frank got a question. Go ahead and ask your question, Frank.
I appreciate it. Hey. So okay,
they were cooking. I listen. Hey,
but the question is for them, so they can keep cooking. I just want to
go ahead and get it out.
Add your
All right,
spice.
so that's it. My question is, we see where it's heading, and we, as in men, most men, we saw where it was going before it even got to this point. So now it's steamrolling because they got a force behind them. They are, at first, it was like they were looking for inclusion. So now it seems like, or appears that they are looking for domination. So as natural women, born women, that's connected to your vaginas, what's going to be y'all position? So it's like, how are y'all going to get in front of this so that you don't become replaced?
We can't be replaced.
Exactly.
We can be mimicked, but we can't be replaced.
Ain't no
they're working on it.
That again, we can be mimicked, but we can't be replaced. It's no different than the black culture being mimicked. Can't replace.
Pause. Time out. Let me tell y'all something. That mofo Andrew Tate basically said that trans women was the next best thing because they're boys and girls at the same time, and guys who had a homeboy that looked like, smelled like, felt like a girl would more likely deal with them. And you know, he's one of these manospherigans.
Andrew Tate said that?
Yeah, I guarantee you, look it up. He came under fire because they was like, dude was basically asserting that, well, dudes have a problem with women. Women are a problem these days. And these trans women look good, and they're the best of both worlds because they understand men, but they look like girls. There are men that are men going their own way. I'm not saying that's the thing. I'm just saying that there's gonna be some dudes who look over there and say, she can't get pregnant. She don't mind when I play Halo, and she looked like the girl down the street. Well,
and that's fine, but those dudes aren't even on the market. They're not dateable anyway. The dudes that say things like that aren't dateable anyway. We've already canceled them out of the dating pool.
Right.
So they can go have as much fun as they want. Don't nobody care.
That shit sound crazy. Raven. What?
Well, ain't no way.
My homeboy done put on some Sweet Pea and Love Spell, and my nigga.
You telling your age. You telling your age.
Hey man, I ain't never seen your shoulders in the light like that before.
No.
All right. I want to segue to something less phobic, a little bit more challenging.
Hold on, ain't nothing phobic about what we were talking about.
Not a damn thing.
Phobic.
Because we ain't scared of nothing, and we ain't telling nobody. There's no hate language. There's no angry language. Nope. We're just like, hey man, we ain't being bothered no more than we want to be. The next thing I want to talk about. So we've kind of talked about this before, just a little bit. Sexual past, your past encounters. How much do they really, really matter? So I got a little excerpt from a show. I think it's almost it's not a worst case scenario, but it is a okay, it might be a worst case scenario. It's very close. But this is the kind of stuff I think some men are concerned with. And in this day and age, with OnlyFans, with social media, with all this stuff, which is so much out there now, that dudes got to be careful. And I want y'all to watch this video and see how this brother reacts to this. And I want to know from the brothers first, when y'all see this, the way that this man reacts, was it justified?
That little piece of work up there, that's your broad? Nah, I'm fucking with a girl named Shantae. Shantae, what's her last name? Lady. She live in her cousin's old house. Got a back page ad for a minute, but never did no dates. Yeah. What, you know her or something? Yeah. Like, wait. Had a little episode in the past, back in the day. Was a freak back there, bro. Used to pop them pills and shit. Yeah. Let niggas do all the camera work. Shit was crazy.
Nigga, you fucking up my high, bro. That shit real funny, though.
Yeah, nigga. Smoke. My bad, dog. Got that sex tape for you to peep out. That's your broad, right? It's crazy. Hey, look, man, I'm gonna keep it playing, Cuddy. Be careful when you fucking with out here, man. You be trusting these bitches, man. Believe that. It's good, player.
Just another day in coke, nigga waiting on you.
Man, I'm going to the studio later today, man. I'm trying to go to the stratosphere with this next album. You feel me? I'm doing it all independent, shining. Feel me? Keeping it 100, but that real thing, though, that shit looking good, man. Ready for you to step in as soon as the way clear.
That's what's up.
What's wrong, man? We good?
Yeah.
That boy breaking on the inside.
Kill him, no.
What the fuck, Ja? What is you doing?
I came here to grab all my motherfucking shit.
Why? Nigga, what happened?
What happened? T-Rex happened, hey?
T-Rex, I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Talking about that nigga showing motherfuckers a video of you fucking other niggas, say? Plural. Niggas.
That was after my brother got shot, Ja.
I fucking miss
No one
me.
told you I was acting wild then. I didn't even know you then.
Miss me with that
I
shit.
didn't even know you.
I don't give a fuck about none of that fucking shit, alright? I don't want my baby mama being a goddamn hoe.
Fuck you, Jakor. Cause me and this baby gonna be straight regardless. All cause your motherfucking pride is hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
But you could take your motherfucking ass in the fucking house, go your ass inside of the fucking house, grab my motherfucking shit, and bring my motherfucking car keys. Go get my fucking car keys.
I'm getting your fucking keys, nigga. Take your keys, nigga. Cause I've been taking the motherfucking bus. And you know what? You ain't nothing but a hypocrite. Cause I know you've been cheating on me. I know you've been cheating on me, and I ain't done shit with nobody.
You know what, Tay? If I did, it's because I never trusted your motherfucking ass in the first place. I mean, how you expect me to be faithful to a goddamn hoe?
Fuck you, Jakor. Yeah, because I loved you. That's how. And that's all that should motherfucking matter.
Couldn't do it. I done wear my dogs too.
All you grabbed was the 2 dogs?
I'm gonna say
What?
he ain't got nothing but 2 dogs, girl.
Look.
So wait.
She got a whole
So-
baby, so that make her look even worse.
He just
So,
grabbed
Sam,
his dogs as well.
so, wait,
Damn.
so I want to start with Frank. Frank, did he handle that right?
Under the circumstances, I gotta say he did. He didn't have a choice. He didn't have a
He
choice.
had a baby with the girl.
It was video evidence out there. It wasn't just a rumor. You know what I'm saying? It was video evidence. Woo! Can't shake that one. Can't shake that. That's Trump card, that boy. That's Ace Spade.
Big joke.
And it was plural. It was plural. It wasn't
It
one.
was.
That mean it was dudes in the video.
No, that was the big joker.
Yeah.
That was the big joker there.
That hurt too much.
I couldn't do it, man. He was sitting there in the back seat breaking too. He was trying to hold it together.
Yeah,
He held it together a little bit. But when they sat outside on that sidewalk and Buddish brought out the video, that nigga whole world crumbled, man. He didn't have a choice.
Right there.
He didn't have a choice.
What
Why you
say
don't
you,
let
Remy?
people get evidence, man?
Hold on. I want Remy. What did he handle that right?
I'm not quite sure. The reason I say that is because he has a child with her. So regardless, you should have got this information before she got pregnant. So regardless of whatever the case may be, at some point, your baby mama a hoe. Like, you got to come back to this at some point. So I'm not quite sure if he handled that situation right now. I would have probably left and not dealt with her anymore and just moved on. That would have been fine, but I would have just probably disassociated myself. But as far as like, he already got a child with her, so like, what are you gonna do? Leave and just say, hey, fuck everything? No, I don't think he handled it right.
Love Kelly said his ego's hurt. What does a sexual past have to do with anything? Have anything to do with him? He couldn't check that man. He couldn't check that man disrespecting her. Then he shouldn't say shit to her. I somewhat agree with that. I do, because when you said that's my girl, and this dude still showed up to your face with the video,
he knew you was a sucker.
Yo,
he tried you. He was trying you.
I'm blowing up the whole block. Everybody getting it. He getting that smoke, and she catching that smoke. I'm not gonna give her that smoke and not give him that smoke too.
Facts.
Because you already told me what I could have went and found out if I wanted to, if I was trying to. The fact that he brought that, yeah, man. See, woo, boy, God damn, boy, he's throwing that thing back on it, boy. God damn, you know, bro.
I think the reason why he didn't come at Buddy is because Buddy was his connection. You know, in the movie, he was trying to, you know,
trying to get on with the rap thing. Right.
He was trying to get on. So he couldn't destroy that. You know what I'm saying? So he was in a sticky situation.
It should have been no destroying. Because if dude knew you were a G, he wouldn't have tried you like that in the first place.
There's.
If dude had respect for you, he would have never tried you like that in the first place. He might not even told you.
Right.
But he probably thought that he was saving him. He probably thought that he was looking out for him.
That's the conversation. That's the conversation. No, yeah, because I would say the saving as a man, if I really know something and I feel like I'm a lookout for you, then I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, you sure about old girl? You know, and then I'm gonna drop a little hint. Hey, man, you sure about that? Because I'm kind of familiar with it. You sure? And then if he asks further, I'm just gonna be like, hey, bro, you might want to do your little research. Old girl, a little while, boom, boom, boom. But that's you would have to be somebody that I am close to. Yes. Because outside of somebody that I'm close to, I'm throwing shade. It's pure shade. It ain't saving. That was all shade. Because you saw the way he laughed in the Frank, you tripping. Talking about he trying to save him. Frank, you saw the way he laughed when he had them gold teeth in his mouth. When he said shit, and laughed at him and back.
Lightweight.
You know what I'm saying? That was shade, bro.
He knew it. That's why he asked old girl last name. He knew exactly who his girl was.
Okay, but my thing is this, you know, and this is also in choosing a partner. You have to understand, even past and present, how does your partner deal with trauma and deal with loss and deal with difficult situations? You know, I would have known that information way before we even got physical. I would have, okay, I was out there at one point. Okay, man, what you mean out there?
And she said that. Yeah. I don't think he wanted the details because he.
No, we're going to explore that conversation. I need details. What you mean out there? Trapeze out there like selling your ass on Backpage? I mean, out there like you was just wilding with one nigga? Like, what kind of out there were you? Because I don't want to associate myself with somebody who going to make me look bad. Like, you represent me. You know what I mean? Like, you represent me. It's not going to be a situation where I connect myself with somebody who I don't think is going to represent me well. So this is stuff that he should have been known.
It probably happened this way, right? That conversation didn't come up until he started catching feelings with her. I mean, catching feelings for her. So he probably didn't press the issue because he didn't want to find out how bad it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he liked her, he didn't want to know how bad it was because he didn't want any information that would deter him from further pursuing her because he liked her at that point. Now, if she would have said in the beginning, I had a wild past before he caught feelings, then yeah, he would have been like, what you talking about? But no, he was already kind of gone before she brought up the fact that she had a wild past. So he was like, that's enough for me to know right there to stay in this this blissful oblivion of liking you without it being tainted by details of how wild it was.
Sound like you making excuses there, Frank.
Yeah. See, okay, so
Frank trying to save him a little bit. Frank looking out for Buddy. Frank looking out.
Stepping stones for failure.
So in my past life, I dated what we want to call somebody who did porn, and she only did what she told me. She only did lesbian porn, and which was fine. And you know, what I'm saying, lesbian porn is cool. I can't see nobody just taking no dick. So I looked up her name. I looked up all her damn videos and shit. It was all lesbian porn, and I was okay with that at first. But later on, when shit got to get really serious, like, bitch, you did porn, and bitch, like, if a nigga can find out the porn now, my there's no fucking way I want this. I just didn't want it. Like, after a couple of years, we was in a relationship for about 2 years, and I was just like, I can do a little bit better than this. Like, I'm not saying that she was she's a great person, but I just didn't want. Come on now. So, I mean, I don't know. If she was upfront with him about everything, it could have been different. But again, you taking dick on camera, there's no fucking way. Like, I just couldn't see my girl taking no dick on camera.
I think it's the on camera.
Of course.
I think it's the on camera. What Kelly Love is saying, she said her past doesn't represent him. She said her past doesn't represent him any more than his past represent her. If you choose each other based on what you're being while together, then who is he to judge her? And what I would say to that is this:
you don't see
men collectively, if we can make that decision about her past up front, then we're willing to make that decision. It's when that past is brought to us later, and we didn't have time to consider it, and it's just dropped on our lap. There's not a single man that's gonna be at the altar or getting ready to walk down the aisle, and then somebody bring him something there, and he watching his wife to be, who was in college, and there's a video brought to him of her and the frat, and she done been trained by the frat. I'm telling you now, I would detonate the entire wedding. All the money spent, everybody that came, I'm walking out to the front, and I'm saying, sorry, y'all, for y'all attending and being here. Some new information has come forth, and this is not, I won't even expose her. I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'll even take the hit. It's me. I'm sorry. I will put it on me. I won't even blow up like that. I will put it on me. It's sorry, y'all. I'm a fool, something crazy. And I just woke up this morning and realized this ain't what I wanted to do. Y'all can hate me all y'all want. I'm out. That's the way I would handle it. She would know why. My closest people might know why, but I'm going to leave it at that, because you're not going to bring something to me after the fact, later, and then expect me to handle it with some sort of grace. Nah, I'm not going to do it.
Because it's new to you, so it's like a new situation. That it maybe it's old to her, but it's a new situation to you because you're just not learning about it. So it's as if it just happened.
Yeah,
you
but
know
how long ago was that though? Like, what if it was like when she was 20 and now you're 40?
That was my situation. That shit mattered. God damn it.
I think it's the video evidence that's the worst. Because if somebody come to you and say, "Hey man, bro, hey, she used to do such and such," then you can say, "I don't know," or maybe so, and then you can. But the video evidence,
the visual,
man, listen. We talked about this before. If a man picks up his woman's phone and he finds out that she stepped out, depending on what he finds, there's certain things he can handle. But you find one of them dudes and then they got one of these for, like that you were scared to sit on, and that's what your old lady been sitting on. The visuals destroy men's souls. And so that man just saw his baby mama getting them cheeks clapped. He wasn't able to handle it. Now, just for the sake of the spoiler alert, I haven't watched the movie. It's called All Day and All Night. And they did get back together, and you know what I'm saying, he wanted to be with her and whatnot. But Men ain't handling that shit like that. We most likely we like, nah, boo, I gotta go.
So why are you not checking the men that are running the train?
Because the train is ran.
Now
I feel like that's disgusting. That men actually participate in that. However, if
we've
someone
had that
did it a long
conversation
time ago, I mean, maybe I'll let it go if it was in college and they felt pressure. But like, I guess I'm just trying to figure out how long do you hold on to something before you give people grace to grow? That they made a mistake.
I think you give people grace to grow as long as you're met with it up front. But we've had that conversation on here too about dudes jumping in them trains. Like, dude, bro, you didn't consider, like she said, my brother just got shot. So she was going through something. Remember, me and Frank, we've had that long conversation about women and their trauma being a segue to promiscuous behavior and how, like, we got to consider that before we start labeling. And so that's a whole nother side to that coin, which I'm pretty sure when he was out of his feelings, he probably sat back and thought about it. Yeah, she did tell me she was in a whole different place after her brother got shot. Dude did say she was popping pills. So she was all out of her element. It's just seeing it, man. It's just, you see it.
I know. I just feel like, just to be devil's advocate, I just feel like women are always giving men chances to grow. Like, oh, you were in jail. Okay, well, you're not in jail anymore. It's been 5 years.
Unless he got them cheeks clapped while he was in jail, then we ain't giving.
Yeah, he did. He got him clapped. And I honestly, I think that's dumb as shit when women do that. I'm like, no,
No, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I know, for example, like my brother was in jail a long time ago, and he's built a great life for him. But I'm so glad that his wife didn't like hold that over him and be like, oh, well, no, you went to jail, so you're off the table. Like, I just feel like women are way more flexible as far as like giving people grace to grow and just don't do it.
Absolutely.
Again.
Absolutely.
You know, and I understand this is a sexual thing, which is probably different for men, but I just know there are a lot of men out here who do really shitty stuff. They're like fucking escorts and all kind of stuff. And I don't see how that's like better just because it's not
No. We've seen with the whole Future and Russell Wilson situation with Sierra that women are not given, y'all are not given the room to change our mind, develop, and evolve, and then say, I'm gonna do better. Hell no. Men don't give y'all that. Hell no. What y'all thought this was? Y'all better fast forward another 500 years, 1,000 years. Hell no. We ain't got there yet. Y'all crazy. We still ain't shit. Y'all crazy. Nope.
If I see evidence of anything, I am gone.
I guess, I mean, I never was in a train because I was a nurse, so I would probably just fall over from running to the clinic the next day. But I guess we didn't have video back then, so there was no evidence. So
yeah, man. Shoot, yeah, man. And then
I always just wonder why, everybody's like, oh, running train. I'm like, but y'all know these guys.
Yeah, y'all participated in it.
Like,
I just think it's super weird that another nigga.
If y'all like, this is happening in fraternities all the time. Like, y'all know who these men are. It can't be like it's only these same 10 men for the past 30 years that's running train on people. It's happened consistently. So how come you don't check your guy friends on like that's gross? What if a woman sees that you were running a train? Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna speak to that. The two parts. One, at the age in which men are aware that their peers are doing it, you're so young, you don't have no, because at the age in which I was aware that I had a few peers that partook, we're high school level, and I never witnessed it, but dudes talking about, yeah, we did that, and I didn't have the words, but I knew I was disgusted because I'm like, y'all down with that? Like, you just watched him come out the room and you went in the room. So my ego, forget the woman. She's traumatized. She probably got some injury. My 15-year-old ego was so huge that I'm like, hey man, I want my own, bro. Y'all nasty. And if y'all was in the room, you just seen that man dick. You weren't turned off by that.
I was just like, look, I've never been in a situation where I had to see another nigga dick while I'm fucking my bed. Like, it's crazy. Like, I've never been in that situation. Like, I think I'll be weirded the fuck out. Like,
I
my
just hear
nigga.
men talking about it all the time. Like, oh yeah, in college at the frat party, yeah, we ran a
Yeah,
train.
yeah,
Like,
those
like
niggas
it was a
are
normal
different.
occurrence. I don't know.
No.
I mean, like, Chanel, did you go to? I mean, I feel like you went to college. Did you go to college? Did you hear about stuff like that? You've never heard about men?
I mean, I heard of stuff like that, but I didn't go to
Oh
college.
yeah, but in the
Oh,
hood,
okay. Oh, my bad.
no,
Okay.
it's a hood thing. No, it's a hood thing
Yeah,
too.
I've heard of things
Literally.
like that, but yeah,
It's a hood thing. Listen, I'm telling you now. There was a girl down the street, and one of my partners, I'm close to this guy. He would pick up the phone. Hey, yeah, we going down such and such house. You want to come through? I'm like, why do I want to come? Man, she's gonna let everybody smash.
Are you
I'm like,
serious?
no. I'm good on that, bro. I'm like,
How you
what
gonna
you
invite
mean?
somebody else
Yeah,
on somebody
me,
else?
yeah, me, him, and him. We finna head down there. Let me tell you the way this stuff spins itself forward in life. See, when men play those games of sharing, when does it really stop? Right? Because the same dudes who I knew partook in a train, later on down that line, one of them dudes tried to backdoor that dude to smash his old lady or ex or something. I'm just saying it's a dangerous game. I've never played in it, and when I was young, I didn't have the wherewithal to really, hey, what the hell is y'all doing? It's just, I'm like, y'all are nasty. Be on y'all Mary's way
So
about that.
why can't when a woman does it, she was in the wrong space and just like felt pressure.
Well, now we see it. Okay, so we acknowledge that. We like, oh, sweetheart, hey girl, look, you was in such a bad place, and I'm so sorry you went through that. Your brother got shot, and yeah, you felt that you had to do those awful things. Mwah. I gotta let your ass go. Hey, yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I saw that shit. Yeah, I know you was high. Your brother died, and I understand. I'm not judging you. I'm gonna raise this baby. I want to get it tested to make sure it's mine, and then we gonna move forward. Okay, I'm not gonna be. He had to be disrespectful to that girl and call no.
Right, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I was wondering. I knew a friend of a friend of a friend, like, you know, and she talked about the train thing and that she did it. And I asked her, I was like, why? You know, I couldn't relate, obviously. Like I said, I would just be completely stressed out. There's no way I could do that. But I was like, why? She's like, oh, Angela, you know, she was in a sorority and, you know, she felt pressure. She's like, you know, it was just, I felt pressure. She's like, I'm not proud of it. I would never tell anybody to do it, but it was just the wrong place, wrong frame of mind, peer pressure. People feel peer pressure. So so that's all I'm saying is like, so she's got to, you know, this is the reason why women lie about their abortions and stuff.
Absolutely. And lie, girl, lie to me. Baby, you lie your ass off to me. If it can't be proven and can't be brought forward, please lie to me. Lie.
You know what? Go ahead and lie to you. Okay.
This is exactly
why, girl.
This is exactly why I say if we don't have kids together, we never did it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm real talk. Listen, I lie too. I've been lying for a long time.
Yeah, because I told you being a nurse, how many women lied about their abortions history. Yeah. And then we as nurses have to go along with the lie. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. I'm like, what? Oh, yes. I was shocked at how many women.
Wait, what? Okay, give me an example. Like, are they lying to their partner and you as a nurse know the truth? Correct. Like what circumstances?
So when someone has a baby and you check them in after the baby's delivered, we always double check their health history. And it says,
She left some in the oven. It's burning. Whatever's in the oven is burning.
Oh. So basically, you know, I don't want to get into the medical terms, but it's like gravida and para. And gravida means how many times you've been pregnant and how many live pregnancies you've had. And so, and I know this because I got in trouble because the nurse from labor and delivery, she didn't tell me that the husband didn't know. And so I was confirming the history when she got over. And it was like gravida 2, para 2. I was like, oh, this is your second baby. She's like, no, this is my first. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, maybe it's a mistake. And she's like, yeah, they probably wrote it wrong. And then her husband went to go take the dogs home. He had to go walk the dogs. And she was like, my husband doesn't know that I have another kid. I gave him up for adoption. I was like, oh, okay. I'm so sorry. It wasn't on here. And then she asked another nurse. She got mad at me because she's like, she was like, you almost blew my cover. Like, you're not doing your job. I'm like, the nurse forgot to tell me that you had it. Like, they just didn't put it in the paperwork. So, and then as a lot of times it'll say how many pregnancies, how many births. And that is not what is what you need to say when you're there. So yes, it's very legal because it's her health history.
Right.
So but that lady got mad at me and she asked for another nurse because she was like, oh, you almost blew my, like, I can't believe you almost ruined my marriage. I'm like, well, bitch, that ain't my problem. I have a ruined you should have been honest. Like, why are you putting it on me? I was like, damn, I can't believe she was putting that on me. She made me feel awful.
That's what I'm talking about.
And
at
what
least
kind
you
of
kept the
marriage do
lie.
they have if she can't be honest about that type of history?
But
Exactly.
a lot of women lie. A lot of women, I don't want to say lie, omit. They omit how many pregnancies they had, or if they've had, or how many abortions they've had. That's a big one.
Right.
A lot of women have had more abortions than they want to tell people.
Right. That's why I'm always clear when people say, wow, you 35, you don't have kids, and I've never been pregnant. Like, I don't.
Whoa, wait, she like, look at her. She and I.
Oh yeah, I tell people the same thing. People always think like, oh, you've had to get. I was like, no, birth control works.
Right.
It actually works. Most people who get pregnant weren't using birth control. I can attest to that as well.
I'm always very clear. I have 3 children that made it into this world.
I mean, to each its own. I'm just saying that just to tie it back to what you're saying, I just hate that sometimes people have to lie about everything in order to like let the guy like, it's just a fine line between lying and then giving people grace to grow because they made an error at a younger age.
So that's going to segue perfectly into this next thing because I believe that sometimes there are reasons to lie. And I want to know, when is it okay to lie? However, I got somebody, we got a spokesperson, and the way she's going to bless us, it's the divorce court, Mrs. Divorce Court, Judge Toler. Judge Lynn Toler. She's going to have a little breakdown here about her husband lying. And I just thought it was one of the most beautiful things I ever saw. And I agree with everything that's about to be said.
Out of town, work. Hey, baby, is everything fine? Yeah, everything's fine. Hey, baby, everything's fine. I get home. He said, well, now that you're home, baby, let me tell you what the hell happened. And, the house went up in flames and then this and that. But he lies to me till I can get home. He says, and I said, well, why didn't you tell me? He said, what could you do? And he says, I got it. I'll carry that. I'm not going to call you about that. Or I'll go away to work. I won't call him for 3 days because it's just been hectic. I'm sorry I haven't called.
Up. Is everybody playing okay?
I know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I'll let him play again for you.
And it's always, not always easy, but it's always meaningful and joyful because we know it and we acknowledge it.
All right, fellas. So y'all heard that. Judge Lynn just said you can lie to your lady. As long as it's in her best interest.
Right. As long as it's in her best interest. That's a good one.
But I get it, though. I mean, he wants you to be, and you already said, and I'm sure, again, it's like knowing you. He knows you. You said you anxious. He said you worried about all these different things. Why put some more on your plate?
Last thing you want to do is gin me up. You want to have my mind clear so I can do my job. And if I'm worried about what's happening at home, my mind is not clear. So he doesn't allow that. And the one time in 14 years, he called me. He said, baby, I'm so sorry. And it was a legal matter. One of my kids.
Okay.
Should I ask? Here's what you do, baby. But that's what we do for each other.
I need to play it? Hold on, let me see something real quick. Do I need to? You didn't hear none of it, Chanel?
I didn't hear anything.
Did y'all hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it.
I'm gonna see if I can play it one more time for you. Hold on, let me see if it'll click back.
Let's tell you, I go out town, work. Hey, baby, is everything fine? Yeah, everything's fine.
And
Hey, baby,
everybody else
everything's
is
fine. I
moving,
get
like,
home. He said,
you
well,
know,
now
I
that
can
you're
see
home,
y'all
baby, let me
moving
tell
and
you
hear
what the hell
y'all, but
happened.
You might have
And
to,
you
you might have
know,
to go all
the
the way
house
out
went
and then
up
come
in
back in.
flames
Yeah,
and this and that.
you might have to tap out and tap back in.
okay.
And then
I
if
had
you
to
do
do that
that, it'll
earlier.
probably reset. But listen, this was so beautiful to hear. Did y'all hear what that woman said? He lied.
It makes sense.
He lied to preserve her peace. I'm gonna let it play one more to see if we can get it for you, Chanel. Let me back it up just a little bit.
Let's tell you, I go out,
Can you hear now?
work. Hey, baby, is everything fine? Yeah, everything's fine. Hey, baby, everything's fine. I get home. He said, well, now that you're home, baby, let me tell you what the hell happened. And you know, the house went up in flames and then this and that. But he lies to me till I can get home. He says, and I said, well, why didn't you tell me? He said, what could you do? And he says, I got it. I'll carry that. I'm not going to call you about that, or I'll go away to work. I won't call him for 3 days because it's just been hectic. And I'll call him I'm sorry I haven't called. I figured you were busy. I know what you're doing. He does for me what I do for him. And it's always, not always easy, but it's always meaningful and joyful because we know it and we acknowledge it.
All right, fellas. So y'all heard that. Judge Lynn just said you can lie to your lady.
Oh!
All right? As long as it's in her best interest.
Right. So basically, when she's out of town or she's on a case or something, and she asks, "Hey, husband, how's it going?" He says, you know, everything is going okay, even when it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows that she can't focus if she's worried about what's going on. Oh, let me Chanel. You back in? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so basically her husband lies, you know, like she said, if there's something crazy going on and she asks what's going on, he's not forthcoming with her. He's like, everything is okay, because she gets anxious if something's going on. So when she gets back, he tells her everything that went down. This is what happened. And she said, well, why you didn't tell me? He's like, well, what could you do about it? I got this. You know, because if I tell you, you're going to get anxious, you're disrupted, you're not focused on doing what you got to do. So essentially, as long as it's in a woman's best interest, it's okay for us to lie, right? Yes. I need another nod.
We do that regardless.
Nod, Angela, nod. I need a nod.
Oh, I mean, he's just trying to do so she can do her job better. Like, it's one thing to lie about something like that, and then you lie that you took out, $20,000 from the savings account.
What about but what? Hold on, I'm gonna get to that. Sheffy, you ain't agreeing?
No,
never lie.
You have to understand who your woman is. If that is feasible for her to maintain her peace, then absolutely. If you guys have had a discussion and that was what you guys came up with, that's great. Don't lie to me.
Period.
Or what you gonna do, Sheffy? Or what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
It's nothing that I could do so much as it's now I've developed the distrust for you.
Oh, I was worried because we know how you get.
No, you ain't gonna end up on no t-shirt.
Put them on the
shirt. Right.
But for me, trust is a big deal. And I get it, well, I didn't want to worry you, blah, 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 blah. If you don't want to worry me, then say, okay, here's what happened, here's how I handled it. And then I'm settled because it was handled. As long as the situation's handled, it's handled. But I don't want to be sitting there and, I finally get home and I'm like, half the house done burned down. It's like, well, why didn't you tell me? Like, I could have provided you resources from even where I was. No, I couldn't physically be present, but I can still help. I'm that kind of woman. I always want to help.
Well, see, that's the difference. If it's a man that gets shit done, then do what you got. The house burned down, motherfucker, you do need to be telling me what's going on because you ain't got it. So that's the difference. If my man handle his business, then I'm okay with him handling that.
Yeah, that's it. If you handling it, it's fine. I still want to know. But if you handle it,
he just knows.
No,
Look,
not being nosy for me. It's more of if I have to change how I navigate something because something has happened, I want to be prepared for that. I don't like surprises. I prepare for everything. You know, when I knew I was pregnant with my son, I'm 6 weeks pregnant. I'm already preparing how I'm going to navigate my career for the next 5 years. That's just how I plan. So you have to know who your woman is. I'm not that woman you're going to spring no surprises on like that. Like the car, you know, the tire done fell off us on the side of the road and the bumper messed up and all that. And I get home and now I'm looking at the car messed up. Why couldn't you just tell me? I don't like surprises.
If I think it's gonna make you cry, I might tell a lie.
Oh, lying to me is gonna make me cry.
Now let's look at this. Let's say the roles were reversed, and my girl and your lady had to tell you a little lie. I don't want my lady lying to me at all because I'm gonna call her a liar, and I don't give a damn if it was to save me. At some point, I'm gonna look back and be like, "You fucking liar! You lied."
Well, is it lying or are you just delaying? Because like I know, like
if you don't tell me what's going on in the moment, it's a lie. I don't give a damn. If you told me 2 weeks later.
See, now I will withhold information. Like if I had someone that was on vacation, like even when I've gone on vacation at my job and my business partner, like I'd be like, oh, like what's going on? She's like, oh, everything's good. And I get back and she's like, you know what? We did have a little flood in the bathroom, but I did take it. I was like, oh my God, why? She's like, I wanted you to enjoy your vacation. I didn't want to like ruin it for you when I could, because I knew you were gonna get all flustered. And I'm like, you all the way over. You're all the way over in Italy. What the hell are you gonna do all the way over in Italy? She was like, you know, so she's like, but I can handle it. But it wasn't like, but again, I think it depends on what it is. Like, you know, if someone like passed away or something like something that's really serious, yeah. But if it's something like, oh, it was just a bump in the road and it just wasn't. It didn't matter to me to bring it up now, but I'm telling you now, even though I handled it, but people know my personality type and they know I'm going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. They're like, no, go be in Rome and do Rome things. Don't worry about that the toilet flooded. Yes, it flooded. We called the plumber. We got it up. We finished it, but I didn't want to tell you at the moment because you were in Rome.
But that's still different. That ain't somebody you romantically involved with.
Oh, I'm just saying. But even if I was on vacation somewhere and my partner got that happened, the toilet flooded or something, I'm like, how's everything? Oh, everything's good, and they handled it. I wouldn't have been mad if they handled it and they just didn't want to ruin my vacation. It's regardless.
I love this. I love this because I do the same thing. I know that's going to fluster her. I know it's going to wreck her peace, so I keep that inside of me, and I take those burdens, I take those things with me and don't share those things because her mind's going to be hurt, her soul, her heart, something's going to be bothered. So I will wear this on my back and keep this to myself. As much as I want to tell, I won't.
Yeah, and like I said, it depends on what you're talking about. Like you're like, oh, guess what? I went and invested $30,000 in a property while you were gone, and you didn't ask me. And you did it like surprise. I'm like, okay, wait.
Some money moving, so I'm gonna see that in the account. What we're talking about is like, let's say trust issues. Like we gonna see large sums of money moving. We gonna see these type of things. But as far as like I said, if it's something that I can handle on my own, I'm gonna keep our conversation as pleasant as possible. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna keep our conversation as pleasant as possible. Am I gonna lie probably a little bit? Yes. Would I like her to lie to me? No. I need to know all information up front.
Wait, hold on, bro.
I don't understand. So again, you were in Vegas with your boys and the toilet flooded and she didn't tell you until you got back and she handled it. You would be mad that she lied about that because she wanted to
be like, shit. I got a homie that's a plumber and it can come and they can fix it. I know somebody can do it. They can fix it.
First of all, you don't send no homie that's a plumber to
I ain't gonna send no plumber to my house.
You don't do that. Damn.
I ain't gonna send a plumber, but however, I'm gonna just say, hey, let me tell you, one thing I don't stress about is shit I can't control. If the whole house could be flooded, if I'm in Italy, I'm like, babe, get your shit out and go to the hotel. I'm gonna have fun where the fuck I'm at. I don't give a damn what's going on in America if I'm in Italy, unless somebody died and I gotta come back.
Right.
That's it. But if you handle small things without me, but keep me abreast of what's going on, but handle the small things without me. Now, for her going out of town and some shit popping off, I'm gonna just be like, hey, babe, everything good. The house could be flooded. I'm like, yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell her the shit on the way back home. I'm like, yeah, man. Shit, you on your Spirit flight? Yeah. We ain't got no house no more.
You just said that
what we gonna
liar,
do?
that would make you a liar.
That's fine. I'll take that. I don't want my girl to be no liar.
I still think that's lying.
But see,
that's helping.
but
I think that's helping out.
What?
He said, I
don't see myself keeping that type of thing from him to help me any damn way. We're talking about a man that's keeping this from they want to make sure, she's emotionally sound and not worried or concerned about something. Yeah. Of course you want her to tell you.
Huh? I mean, I'm
you would want your woman to tell you, right? You just said.
Of course.
Yeah,
yes.
But
I'm not going to tell her. I'm not going to make her upset because her shit come with a whole bunch of questions. I don't ask questions. I'll be like, look, is the shit fixed? Yes, done. Well, how did this happen? Where were you at? Shut the fuck up! Like, I don't want to have all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that is a difference.
If the problem is solved, cool. I don't give a damn how it was solved. As long as you didn't involve another nigga. It's solved. But the thing is, I don't want to have to tell you all the backstory on how I solved this shit. And that's what get the arguing going on. Because why did you do it this way? Shut the fuck up. And that's, I just don't want all that.
Frank, you are you with lying to preserve a little bit of peace, happiness, and are you just with a little bit of lying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Man. Because I don't like unnecessary stuff.
There you go.
So if it's something that I feel like really doesn't require an explanation, then hey, I might forget to mention it.
He forgot. Memory, bad memory.
Omitting.
So and vice versa. If it's something that something happens and it's within your realm of control and you control it, then don't call me about it. Don't call me and say this happened and then I did this and everything's okay. So what you need me for? So
exactly.
Like, wait till I get home and let me know such and such happened and I did this and it's resolved. Okay, cool. What for dinner? That's it. But no. I mean, it just depends on the situation. If it's something that can cause issues romantically, then yeah, don't lie to me about it. But if it's something that just
keep that to yourself too.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah.
Don't see my girls are like Sheffy. When she says Sheffy like to help solve the problem, when I say, damn, babe, I lost my Bluetooth. Well, let me help you find it. And we searching. I'm just like, God damn, like I just said it. I don't want your help to find this shit. I just said I lost it. Well, I just want to help you find it. I found it. Now leave me alone. Like, it just I don't want it to turn into that, like the extra. Because I'm frustrated because I can't do something and then you just try to jump in and try to help me because you're helpful. Your helpfulness is going to be a little bit more of out in my way than anything.
Yeah, in the goddamn way.
I'm not the helpful in the way person.
But you're going to be in the way if I can't find my Bluetooth and you don't know where the hell I put it. I know where I put it last, not you.
Now, okay. Now, on the subject of that, Anytime my ex-husband would lose stuff, he would call me and ask me, did I know where it was? And I was like, yeah, I saw it such and such a place. So I actually did help. But he called me and asked me, or he'll like ask Miles, because my 8-year-old, he knows where everything is. That boy got a photographic memory dang near. So stuff
because
like
y'all
that,
live together. Y'all live together. See, I don't live with anybody, so I got a motherfucker looking through all my shit now to find.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, see, no.
And she gonna mess around and find them draws, and then you gonna have to lie to her again to save her feelings. Come on, man. Golly, man, we gotta preserve some relationship with a few lies. Anyway, I don't want to belabor on that one because in that interview, Judge Lynn Toler dropped some jewels, and I want to play the rest of it. I didn't know that her husband died, man. When she dropped this, when she dropped this interview, it was shortly, like a couple of months after, or shortly after this interview. And this interview, man, I'm not going to play it in its entirety, but I urge people to go and watch the entire interview where she talks about marriage and her thoughts on, how to survive marriage long term, and that what they titled is Judge Lynn Tolliver's Secrets to a Long-Term Lasting Marriage with Her Husband. So I'm gonna play some of this and I'll pause it, or you guys tell me where to stop when you hear something that you want to stop and chop it up about, because she drops so many jewels that even, marriage or just long-lasting relationships in general, man, she blessed me with it. So I figured I'm gonna play it and let her just go ahead and rock out.
Peace.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice.
Man, that's beautiful.
Very nice, yeah.
And see, it's interesting because, a lot of times, and that's why we, even as a platform, we got to bring other people up here with successful relationships that's already doing it. Because, again, you're hearing all this information, all the groupthink that you discussed prior. And when you hear somebody actually having a successful relationship and the stories they tell, the things that they say and they do, that just sounds like what it really takes to have a successful relationship. Mm-hmm. It's almost like listening to somebody like your college professor teach you about business and actually listen to the entrepreneur who's had a successful business for 30 years.
Right.
It's a very big difference, and it's something special about the information you give them because it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And again, I see how social media can misinform a lot of us, whether it's misinforming us to think that we need to overly be, about self, and not conform to other people because that's dangerous.
Get all the negative people out of your life. Some people in university just give up. No, you're not making me joyous right now. Go away. It's terrible.
You should not be in an unhappy relationship because if the relationship is bad,
not feeding your soul, you shouldn't be in it.
But that, no. You on point. Because that's like saying every time something happens in your business, you need to quit the business and get a new one. Which, no successful entrepreneur will tell you that. You got to weather some hard times in your business as well to be able to see success. But I don't know if we built like that, Judge.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
So what's going on with y'all? What's happening with?
I want to pause it right there real quick because she talked about that groupthink. And I want to know, is groupthink that we see in social media, we all partake in it to a degree. Is it more harmful or helpful in today's dating and relationship environment?
Absolutely harmful.
Speak on it, Chef.
The bulk of people are doing nothing more than trauma bonding over bad experiences instead of actually getting help. As long as somebody agrees with me, I can't actually be wrong. No, they're wrong too. Both of y'all asses is dumb. And therein lies the problem, because you have people thinking that just because it's happening to them too, then the other people are the problem. No, it can't be me because somebody else is having the same experience. No, baby, it's still you, because you're the common denominator among all of the women or men that you are dating. And a lot of people aren't realistic with themselves. So they'll just go around and say, well, such and such is narcissistic. Baby, you don't even know the definition of the word. And you're not, you don't have the credentials to diagnose somebody with narcissism. So please stop using that word. or the other terms, gaslighting and all of that. Yes, these things are happening. Yes, they're happening. They may be prevalent, but they're still not the majority. So you can't go around saying men ain't shit, women ain't shit type of things, because only these things are happening in your world, but you got 20 other women who are having a different experience. So it's a lot. It's a lot to do with people thinking that their singular experience is the global majority, and it's nowhere near that. You're not that special enough for your experience to be what's happening to everybody. You're just not. People need to get help. They really do. But because they can sit there and trauma bond with other people, they're using that to escape even their need for help. Well, I can't be having this problem too. Yeah, you do. All y'all need help.
Dropping game over there. Soon as you drop that baby, you start dropping some game again, girl. About time. Told that little baby to get on up out of there. He was sucking up all the wisdom his little greedy self. Now she done dropped the baby. Now she's dropping game again.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I want to get Angela's take on it. Is groupthink more helpful or harmful in the dating and relationship?
And can you define what groupthink is, just so I know I have the right term?
Like kind of like on social media, where everybody is basically sharing so many of the same thoughts that it now becomes this thing. Like they said, everybody's pretty much coming together saying, "Oh, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks," and now it has people out here navigating the dating and relationship world, I think, predetermining what their own experience is going to be based on what they're hearing people say. So I'm like, how helpful is the group think? And I'm not saying that. I do think sometimes when you have a collective of people come together and they share their experiences, there can be something learned. But kind of to Sheffy's point, are y'all all just trauma bonding and y'all actually need to get help yourself?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I do think that sometimes misery loves company.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you can seek out everybody who's miserable, and then everybody's miserable. And if you seek out positive energy, it's easier to seek out positive energy. I do think where groupthink helps is that people don't feel alone in their issues. I think sometimes people will be like, "Oh, I thought it was just me that had this issue, and at least I know it's not just me." But the downside to it is, because I've seen certain things that are more prevalent, because you curate your own feed on your Facebook and Instagram page. So you're going to see what stuff that you look at. And one thing that I had to catch myself on, to be honest, and I was just like, I was having this party with, they were all Caucasian and, all married and stuff like that. And I was telling about my dad, and I was like, "Oh, I just, my dad's amazing. He's not perfect, but they just don't make men like him anymore." And they all said, "Oh, yes, they do." And I was like, "Oh." They saw my ass out real quick. They were like, they're like, all of our husbands are amazing. They cook, they clean, they do this, they do that. So I was like, damn, okay. But they're like, "Oh no, just keep looking. You're gonna find the right one." But don't say that. There's plenty of men out there who are gonna take pride in being a family, a dad, a husband. Like all of our husbands, like, they're not perfect, but like they're amazing men. And they will move hell and water for us. And I was like, wow. So you do have to be careful about who you're hanging out with, and definitely keep a grain of salt with what everybody says too. But you don't want to be cynical where it's like, oh, everybody's got to be doing this. So I do feel like there's certain topics that it seems like when I talk to like other people, like in like my friends and my sister and stuff like that, they're like, "What are you talking about?" Like they have no clue about anything. Like some of the topics we talk on here, they have no clue. Like they're like, who talks about this? And more importantly, do they have kids? Because if they had kids, they wouldn't have time to talk about this kind of stuff. They're like, no, we're trying to get ready for school and stuff like that. And I think it also depends if you're married versus non-married. I think that makes a difference too if you're more involved in things. But some people are just not involved, and they're just in their world. Everybody's more married and doing this and doing that, and they're seeing examples of that. So when we say things like, oh, like the gold digger thing, and they're like, what? That's what some people like, especially some of my white associates. They're like, what are you talking about? Why are you even talking about this? People talk about this. This is actually an issue about gold diggers and this and that. And like, what age group are they 20? And I'm like, no, these are grown ass men. They're like, oh, Angela, yeah, you need to go like just meet other people who are not on social media. I've definitely been told that.
That is a very, man, there's so many dating coaches and relationship coaches who are telling people, get off social media and go outside. Just go outside. Go to these places and talk to people in person. Everybody's not talking in memes, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but because I wanted to get some of you other guys' thoughts on it. Chanel, is it more helpful or harmful, the group think that's out there?
It is on, you know, that's already been need to be supported, and they're ones to vent to and need to have added perspective to their experience. When you're being on the that's a whole different thing. It's like my story, so that's everybody's story. You know, just to piggyback off what definitely trauma bonding is definitely harmful if you want to elevate in that area.
I get you. I definitely agree. Frank, you've been married for a stretch. And what Angela just said makes point. A lot of married people are doing what married people are doing. And I was married for a stretch before getting back out there. And so I do know that married people, family people, they're in this world right here. And when they go to social media, they hear and see this stuff. It doesn't sound real. Some of the things that I've heard in the dating world that I didn't experience, I have heard guys share online, and I've had guys share in person. But I think that there's several different groups that are not seeing all the same stuff, and so when these conversations are had, it's oftentimes, where y'all at? What do y'all see? What are y'all doing? You being married and having been married for so long, do you think you might lack a little awareness when it comes to the group think out here, whether it's true or false, as to what's actually going on?
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
My bad. I forgot I muted myself because that damn dog kept barking. But yeah, man, I'm an outsider looking in, and I understand that the scope of the landscape of the dating world has changed tremendously. Like I'm like thrown for a loop when women say they don't want to be picked up for a date. Because last time I was dating, it was still a requirement to not only set the date up, but go and pick the date up. So that's just a small example of a change that happened while I've been married. So as far as everything else, all the complaints and everything that I see, that's all I ever see. I can't remember a time that someone shared a successful date experience. But I'm also aware that negativity gets the most shine because it's the loud. It's the most controversial, and controversy is entertaining. So that's going to get the more clickbait. So I'm definitely aware of how bad it is out there, which is an incentive for me to work hard and stay married, because I'd rather put the work in the marriage than putting the work in out there trying to find something out there that may be destitute in a land that's destitute. And as far as the group thing, well, I wanted to touch on that. I think it's more harmful because it's like, what's that that website that people used to always go to self-diagnose medical condition, like WebMD, something like that.
WebMD, yeah.
That's what it's like. It's like the group think it's like going to WebMD. So people get on Instagram, they get on Facebook, and they start looking for what's that familiarity of that negative thing that happened to them. So now they're congregating together and saying, this happened to me. Yeah, this is true. And that is true. So it's true for everything. So then they start generalizing everything. So now it's all men are trash. All women are gold diggers. Because people get online and what they're more exposed to is the negative experiences. So that's what they gravitate towards. So so what's that negativity is creating this echo chamber of suck. You know what I'm saying? Everything suck. And everybody's agreeing that everything suck. Women on this side, men suck. Men on this side, women suck. Everybody suck. Ain't nothing good. And that's the narrative because of this group thing.
I 100% agree. I actually did have. Remy, I want you to jump in and give us your thought if it's helpful or harmful. And I actually had a positive dating experience that someone shared that I wanted to share, that I wanted to talk about, because it was a woman really speaking positively about a dating experience. I do want to share that. I do want us to talk about it because it is something positive, but we'll come back to that. Remy, is the group think more helpful or harmful out here, bro?
It's extremely harmful, man. Because a lot of people have had bad experiences, and the thing is that what you want to share is mostly the bad experiences. But a lot of people just don't want to talk about how they may hold themselves accountable on how situations may have played out. You understand? So, in my what I can say in my most recent situation, when I met my girl initially, I was dating a lot. Like, I was going on 3 dates a day with 3 different people. And man, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man, it can happen.
A lot of goddamn money spent.
It happens, hell. But the thing was that made her different. She called me back and she was like, "Hey, man, I really liked you, and you just ghosted me." And I was just like, "I did ghost you, but I mean, what's up?" And she just showed that genuine interest. She's like, "Look, I don't give a damn what nobody's talking about. I'm really just genuinely trying to get to know you." So we got to know each other. We weren't physical, no hugging, no intercourse, no nothing for 4 months. 4 months.
Damn, 90 days, man.
Man, 4 months. I didn't do anything. I didn't even hug her for 4 months, and we really got to know each other. So now, like now that I didn't post to her or anything, but now I'm like, damn, you know what? All I see is negativity online. So lately, you've probably seen a lot of me posting me and us online.
Yeah, we seen it.
Yeah.
Man,
definitely see it.
You
let me tell you,
teasing.
Well, I got a huge smile on his face
because it's so many women out there that got so much bad to say. I'm like, no, fuck that. We going out, we having a good time, we doing this, we doing that. And the thing is, I'm gonna keep doing that shit because all niggas ain't the nigga that you're accustomed to dating. And the thing is that if you're a quality person and I don't feel like you're embarrassing me, I don't have no problem showing you all. Like if I'm secure in the situation, I'm be happy about it. The thing is, you have to understand a lot in showing that situation too. What you also see is a lot of hate. Because I was single for 7 years, and in 7 years I tried to holler at a lot of motherfuckers. And in 7 years I got turned down every fucking day. And now they see this shit, they like, oh.
Back then you did.
It could have been you.
Back then you did. But now you own me.
And not trying to even get to understand, learn who a nigga is, learn who I am, or learn whoever you're trying to talk to is. You so busy trying to goddamn compare and relate with another motherfucker. Like, get to know somebody. remove yourself from all the distractions if you really fuck with somebody, and get to know that person outside of social media, outside of what your friends and family and everybody got to say. You got to learn, you got to dive into that person. And look, man, that like with that collective thinking and shit, it's not gonna be good because everybody suffering a heartbreak. You don't know when somebody's suffering a heartbreak, and that person could just project their situation on you and just lead you down a blind path. So fuck all that goddamn collective thinking.
Yeah, and then I also wonder if it's different between race too, because I feel like I always wondering like, do white guys be on here saying stuff like this?
Hold on.
What? They built the manosphere. They built the manosphere.
About to go in.
They are. Wait, hold on. They built the manosphere.
No, I mean, I'm not saying they don't or do. I was just saying, like, are they having the same? Some of the, like, you know, that's why I got out of some of the dating groups because they were also negative.
If y'all wanted to give me 5 minutes, I will go find them. Rollo Tomasi, all these dudes, the Andrew, they built it. They built it, and then black men said, "Oh shit, we too." And then they said, "We're gonna build a black manosphere." And please.
But check this out. Manuel, check this out. Adam 22. A white man sharing his wife with a black man. A black man would never share their wife that they fuck with 100% with another man. White men, you have to understand, white people are different than us. We're not the same species. These men literally, okay, we are the same species, but these people like different shit. They share each other.
Plenty black people sharing each other, baby. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not
black people get down. Black people get down with it too.
My girl, my wife,
poly or sharing or having sexual preferences. That's
yeah.
That's definitely not.
Them lifestyles is wilding. But real talk, no. To answer Angela honestly, the whole red pill, black pill, incel, manosphere, all of that started with them. Just like child support. Child support started with them too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not saying that they don't. I just wonder like how the conversation goes. Like, is it the same?
It's almost the same. They talk about gold digging. Yeah, almost the same.
I actually, the other day, big old like single white doing her makeup for a date. She's like, I'm so nervous. I'm drinking wine. She obviously wants to go straight into her dating experiences based on what this makes. So she's like, yeah, I'm just so tired of running into these men. They want to be in these men groups and they want to huddle around and talk about going to work out, but they're not taking care of their kids and they don't want to work and they're calling themselves entrepreneurs and like that the same conversations that are in rotation in their circles too. Basically, she's like,
absolutely.
Like me and my friends are talking about these men. Why are there multiple men that huddle up together their business and they're not paying child support? It's a white woman. So for anybody who's like complaints that a lot of women have, it's the same shit on either side. It depends on what you're giving.
It's the United States of America, baby. It's right. Western society.
I feel like it's probably more so because the majority of my friends are married. So 90% of my friends, like 4 of my best friends are white. 4 of my best friends are white, but none of them are on social media. We all talk like on a phone.
Are you in a relationship, Angela? Are you in a relationship?
I'm dating. Okay. Yeah.
Somebody serious,
but the majority of my friends. Say again.
Somebody seriously or dating around?
I'm just dating. I don't have anybody serious that I'm honed in on yet. So, but yeah, most of my friends are married, so they're not even. And then most of the people in my family are married, so I think maybe it's that. So when I
do think that does play a part because honestly, when I was married before I was single and actually dating, the questions that women would ask me I was like, why are you asking me this kind of shit? Because in the dating world, they were getting these experiences. And then dudes, I start talking to dudes like, okay, let me ask my male coworkers. Let me ask the young guys that I work with. Hey man, so you live in this city, you know what I'm saying? You're a young bachelor, bro. How's it going? They like, man, it's all right, but man, this chick just tried me the other day. Well, how she try you, young brother? Man, so we swipe right, we chatting, we talking, and she told me I can go in her Amazon cart and start buying stuff. She said if I wanted to do something nice, I can go clear her Amazon cart. And I said, well, what'd you do? He said, oh, I just stopped responding. He said, then she came back in the response and said, oh, you're not the type of guy that I would date because you're not generous. He like, I don't know you. And he just deaded it. I work with this guy. This guy is solid, cool, regular dude. And he's like, they will try you just like that. So these things are happening in real time. And what my conversation with him was like, hey, young blood, I know she tried you, but don't get it twisted. Dead that one and just move on to the next. Just dead that one and move on to the next. But years ago when I was married, when somebody would have told me this, I'd have been like, how? So I think these things do happen. I do think married people are in their own world. That and if they don't come up, if they don't have a reason to go look around and pay attention and find out because they're single friends, they just might not know.
So Manuel,
they're totally immersed in family,
right?
Which is great. That's where you should be. But like a lot of them, like, oh, I'm not getting on that crap. They don't want to be on social media. Like like a lot of men that I know who about this shit are definitely not on social media at all. Like what they're like, oh no.
So Manuel and Sam, sorry. So Manuel and Sam, are most of your friends that you have with your wives, are they married? Do y'all find yourselves hanging out with more married couples now that you're married?
Not at all.
No.
So for me, yeah, it's crazy because since me and Bree got married, I think 2 of her peers have gotten married. And then she has friends. She's only, I think it's half and half for her. Half of her homegirls are married and the other are single. So she has like a half, and then like her coworkers, a few of them are married and a few of them are single. So it's like it's a half and half dynamic over here. And so, but who do we hang out with? I mean, yeah, if we like if she goes and hang out with her homegirls from work, one is single, one is single, and one is a relationship, and she's married. If we hang out with people together, by default, I mean, we invited some people over some time ago. Everybody was with somebody except for the 2 single people that came, and then homeboy got her phone number while he was here. You know what I'm saying? Matter of factly, just putting it out there, y'all. That's the environment we provide. Y'all come over here, we're gonna be trying to pair motherfuckers up. I'm just saying, just that quick. But because typically when people are with people, they try to, hey, I got a friend, and we wasn't trying to hook them up, but we made sure she was single, so I made sure he was single and available. And when we invited them, they just did their own thing, and we just stood back.
It's only one married couple that we're cool with, but we don't. Every blue moon we'll hang out, like if it's an occasion or something like that. But as far as just having regular other married couples to hang out with, no, not one, because I think all of my white friends are single. So it's all the girls are hanging out. The girls are hanging out. So that type BS.
See,
he said BS. He said that type.
Yeah. See, my situation, I find myself not even want to really hang around with too many single people because I don't want to hear that rah-rah about it. It ain't no good people out there. When we 2 good people trying to get together, like I don't want to hear anything about any singleness.
The wedding that let me tell you, real talk, the wedding that I just came from in Jamaica, if this brother was here, he would tell you this. He was like, hey, man, I was trying to find my wife. I didn't have time to be listening to all that manosphere shit. I swear. And this man just listen, high value. If this man just dropped what he had to drop on a destination wedding in Jamaica. So I think she found who she was going to find. And I think she, you know what I'm saying? It worked out. He said, man, I ain't got time for that shit. Like he's aware of it. But he like, I put that shit to the side. I was trying to find my wife. I was serious. And he found his wife. He wasn't playing. Like some of these dudes ain't playing out here.
I mean, I love hanging out with married couples. It doesn't bother me at all. I do have a lot of healthy amount of single friends as well. But my best friends from like high school and college are all married.
Yeah.
The people that I've met that are single now have either were married and divorced now, or they just haven't found, their person yet. But I own a pole studio, so I'm around a
lot of single women. Yeah. A lot of women, period. Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely get a lot of.
Tell me where it's at, Angela.
Pole lock tees.
Frank, did you befriend me? Just send me a message on Instagram.
What's your name on there?
Angela Edwards. I'll give it to Manuel.
Okay.
Manuel has.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna play the next bit of Lynn Toler. We probably won't get through all of it because I don't want us to be on here till like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or 11 or 12 or whatever the late time is. But this next segment, again, she gets some jewels, but she's gonna ask the guys. She's gonna ask these men about their dating and relationship status and what they see out here, and that shit's good. This is really good. Because
I mean that's like saying like every time something happens in your business, you need to quit the business and get a new one. Which I mean, no successful entrepreneur will tell you that. You got to weather some hard times with myself.
Okay.
Because mainly, much of it has been me identifying what I want.
Let me back up, Jazz.
Right, because I mean that's like saying every time something happens in your business, you need to quit the business and get a new one. Which I mean, no successful entrepreneur will tell you that. You got to weather some hard times in your business as well to be able to see success. But I don't know if we built like that, Judge.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
So what's going on with y'all? I mean, what's happening with the women down here? You must be doing all right. What are you finding? What are you seeing? What are you liking? What are you not liking?
I'll let Tashawn. I'll let him take that one down first.
It's funny because a lot of it, before I even jump to the ladies, I'm going to start with myself.
Okay.
Because mainly, much of it has been me identifying what I want.
Okay.
Right? Because I think that's the most important thing. Because as long as I make a decision, regardless of all what's happening with the women out here, I truly believe that as soon as I make the decision to find a wife, I'm gonna find her very easily.
Right.
And I've dated women that have that potential, but the question is this something that I want to commit and pursue? Because I remember one of my mentors told me this. I asked him, "How do I know I'm ready for marriage?" And he asked me. He had a real, Socratic approach to the answer. He said, okay. He said, do you have problems that occur in your business? I said, of course I do. He said, what do you do when it happens? I said, I solve it. He said, what do you do when the solution you came up with doesn't work? He said, I create another one. He said, what if that doesn't work? He said, I'm going to figure it out. He said, are you ever going to throw the business away? I said, I mean, that's not even an option. I got to figure this out. This is how I feed myself. There's no option to throw it away. He said, what happens when a problem occurs in your relationship with a young lady? I said, honestly, I think I probably need to get rid of this so I can lighten up the load.
Right.
And he said, as soon as you have that same mindset in business that you have with the women, you're not ready to get into a relationship.
Outstanding. That's great advice.
And see, I thought about that. And usually people give me this airy-fairy way to determine whether or not I'm supposed to be in a relationship. But that actually gave me something tangible for me to actually reflect on and be introspective, to think, wow, I'm not that committed to this part of my life yet. And until I'm ready to be that committed, I'm just going to be out here really dating casually and having to find women who also are on a casual basis as well. Now, the problem is dating casually, it's a lot of BS that comes with that pool. You're running into a lot of women that she either got to be in a phase in her life where she's like in this building phase where she's cool with dating casually because she's focused on something else. Or
in a retirement phase.
Yeah.
where she done been through it all.
Yeah.
She's just like done.
Or she done been through so damn much where she like, look, I don't want none of that no more. I'm tired of niggas. I'm divorced. I'm this and that. And I just want to have me some fun. So it's this weird play. And if you find somebody that actually wants that, something long term, and sometimes even the women who say they don't end up wanting something long term.
Oh, they do.
That happens a lot of times.
That happens.
Now you fall into this real confusing space. And I am dating a young lady that has a lot of potential long term. And it's funny because, it makes you think and reevaluate, what do I really want? Because you either eventually at some point it's going to get to a place where you either going to have to forego this opportunity and just miss out on this and say it because for the greater good, I'm not ready for it. Or you just call an audible and make an adjustment to your plans so you can build with somebody who you deem to be qualified. So I'm still in a place right now where I'm evolving. My mindset is evolving. Every time I sit down in these interviews, I hear all these wonderful things. I learn and understand a bit better how a relationship can be beneficial to me in my growth, because myself and a lot of us in my generation still can see it as a distraction. And we still can see it as a way that can slow down my pursuit of my purpose and not necessarily add to it.
Right.
So because I'm better understanding how a good woman can come on board and we can actually expedite this thing, I'm more open to it, but I'm still undecided, Judge. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still very undecided.
Hey, that was well thought out. That was very well thought out. And a good friend, too. I love that analogy that he gave about the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Okay, brother.
I'm a little nervous about this one.
Just tell her you smashed.
I'm gonna pause that briefly because I thought dude broke that down. And Remy, I saw you nodding your head because you sometimes we had that conversation a while back where you was like, hey, I'm still building myself, working on myself. So I know I can't even put nothing in. So I know you could identify with that. He put it together. He was really eloquent with that shit. But and I think he has a pretty go ahead.
That goes all the way back. I'll never forget this, and I still believe it's true. It always goes back. I'm a huge Sex and the City fan, and I'll never forget that episode. She's like, men are like taxis. You have to catch them when their light is on. It's not love. It's dumb fucking luck. And I totally agree with that to this day, that you have to catch men. You could be the best catch in the world, but a lot of men, if they don't feel like they can provide and do what they need to do, they'll let good women go all the time.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people, a man will wake up one day like, I'm ready to get married. And whatever idiot is at the coffee shop that day, she's the winner. She gets the prize. Yeah. Where I think women, it's true. I hate to say it. As much as I hate this, it's true. But women, we're always like, when they come along, we're just gonna go with it. Like we're not like, oh, I gotta be perfectly together, or and it could be like, Disney movies, like we're already always ready to seem to get married. Like we're okay with that and falling in love and all that jazz. And men are like, it's a lot of responsibility to be married and stuff like that. So they take it very seriously, which they should, but they want to have everything perfectly lined up before they actually will do it. But I do think it's dumb luck. I think women that get married, it's dumb luck. They just found the guy that was ready.
I have two things to say on that real quick. One is, I used to, whenever I give women advice here and there, and they say, hey, I'm with this guy and he's talking about marriage, I always say, does he want to get married, or does he want to be married, or is he ready to be a husband? Those are two different things. I can want a lot of shit. Am I ready? I can want a house. Am I ready for that house? Am I ready to maintain it? Am I ready to cut grass? Am I ready for that house? Maybe my black ass needs to just rent and continue to rent until I'm ready to be a homeowner. If he wants to be a husband, yeah, it looks good. You want to have a wife. You want to be settled down. But are you really ready for the responsibility, the accountability, to answer to somebody, to be all those things? And even if you're ready, when you get in it, you're going to find out how ready you really thought you were, that you might not have been. And then you're going to have to learn some shit about yourself and work through that. So there's that part. And then it's the ideal person in the ideal circumstances. This person might be so ideal, but their circumstances just aren't ideal. So things just don't line up. Or the circumstances are ideal. Everything's great on paper, but the guy and the woman, they just don't mesh. So
Yeah, and I think where it gets messy though, the problem is that when they're dating women who want to be married or want to be in
yes, you got to leave them alone.
And they're not being honest, like, well, I'm just dating casually, you know.
Absolutely.
And then some women want to be like, ooh, I'm gonna make him, you know, take on a project and think. And so that's the problem. And then I used to like in Ringside, I used to be like, why don't you just go outside of the divorce group and find someone there that's just got divorced that don't care and go fuck them. But no, they want to be with the woman that's going to take care of them and do this and do that. And then you mess them up. And then, but a lot of men, I'm just going to be honest, they're not honest about that they're in a casual stage because they know they ain't gonna get no pussy if they say that. So they lie and say, oh yeah. And they do that when they really don't want to be married or don't want to be settled down, which is your choice. No one's saying, but I'm just saying that that's why a lot of women are messed up because men are not honest about they're in a casual state. I'm going to treat you like a casual trick. Yeah, we can have sex. Yeah, we can go out, but you ain't my girl, and I'm not looking for a girl. And if they would just say that, that would be great. But men are not stupid. They know.
I mean, but as a grown woman, you don't recognize that.
I mean, a lot of men are not honest. They're not honest.
You have a lot of guys out here that.
As a grown woman, don't you recognize when a man is wasting your time? If a chick says she gonna give me some pussy, and then on the third, and she rescheduled 2 times, bitch, goodbye. Like,
but see, that's the thing. You have some guys.
It's a relationship. If I say that, hey, show me that you're serious about this relationship, and then the second time you show me something else that show me that you're not serious, goodbye. I'm not playing. Like, you're on a mission.
That's different. You have some dudes that will move like they are wanting a relationship and never want anything. They'll even call you their girlfriend, but then
it's about you though.
If you're prioritize you because you ain't my wife. The goalpost just keeps moving. So you're sitting there thinking like, okay, well, you know, the time is coming. And then by about that third time, it's like, no, this dude has literally wasted my time. But he has set up the entire time that I'm trying to be in something long-term with you, when the whole time he didn't.
But is he moving like that though?
Yes,
listen.
I'm like,
because there is red flags. I mean, a nigga, it might seem perfect. The dinner, everything might seem perfect, but it's gonna be a red flag shown at some point, and then it's either you gonna look over it or not. Like, yeah, you simply gonna look over it.
I hear what you're saying, Remy, but you're talking about at an older age now. When I was in my 20s, I did not recognize that because I just took them for what they were saying. So when we all speak from being 35 and over, we're speaking because we know now. But women specifically, we were not taught that younger. Like, we weren't taught that. So we're not looking for red flags. We're still in Disneyland. Yeah, we're still in Disneyland. We think that men are like going to come in, or whoever, male or female, whatever your preferences, you know, like we still think that that's existing. Like, you don't get this knowledge until later. And then now you like, you know, so I feel like that sounds, like now I know when someone's pulling my chain, of course. But when I was 25, when men are messing through you, and so that's why I'm like, why is prostitution not legal? If you want to go have sex with someone, that's all that you need. Like, and you don't have to even go to a prostitute. There are women out there who just want sex just like you, but y'all never seek them because y'all don't like being treated like a trick. Y'all don't like.
I mean, we have them. We just
like when we just use y'all for sex. Y'all don't like that.
Well, I mean, we have them. It's just we want more. She's
right. No.
And hurt somebody. That's what y'all want to do.
Wait, she's right. No, Angela's right. Look at how much we clown dudes and how we go in on dudes that are tricking. Let me tell you something. There's this whole thing. I remember Whack Ass Fresh and Fit talked about it and lied. You want women. You want to make sure the woman has burning desire for you. Ideally, every man who is dealing with a woman wants to feel like she wants him for him. She wants him for the guy he is, and she wants him for what he looks like. But the transactional side, it's rare that a man can really, really be comfortable in that. One, because, you know, he just handed over money and he feels some way. Two, we gonna be like, "Oh, trick ass," and you know what I'm saying? We gonna clown that. So it's and men do care. So it's a difficult place to be. And then women on the receiving end of it are women on the other side of it, not the ones that are willing to be transactional, but women on the other side of it are dealing with time wasters. And listen, I have wasted some time in my life. I have burned up some people's clock, and I don't feel good about it. But I know I've been sitting there moving the goalposts. Hey, girl, when this happened, when I get that promotion, when I do this, and then when my birthday come on the third year on a full moon, girl, that's gonna be the time. And the whole time I'm like, shit, just bought me a little bit more time. That is horrible. Yes, we do it.
Men do it all the time.
By the time.
I want to give this one scenario. I just want to give this one scenario. So it's this girl on Facebook. I'm not gonna call her name. She met a guy. They was dating for 6 weeks, right? 6 weeks. Look, the third weekend, the nigga asked her to marry him. She marries this man after 3 weeks of really knowing him, right?
Okay.
They're in a situation. They married. She's just like posting, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. The seventh week, she posts, I have a restraining order against this nigga crazy. He hit me, and I want him out my house. And I said, so I comment, nobody comment on her shit. So I comment, I said, why the fuck did you marry this man after 3 weeks to know him? I was like, yo, I date you for a year before I even call you my girlfriend. So why would you, I can't even fathom dating somebody for 3 weeks. A year.
She said a year.
If we plan on being together a lifetime,
if
we plan on being together for a lifetime, put that year in the hole. But check it out. So I say, yo, you've been dating this man for 3 weeks. How can you expect this man to be all the way up front with you and you barely know him? Fuck you, Remy. You don't even know us. I love him. And she's trying to save her fucking marriage right now. And I'm like, you freaking idiot. If you see this, you damn fool.
Walking red flag herself.
You damn fool. I said it. I said, you a damn red flag, your damn self.
I mean,
you
that's
gonna let a man
definitely
move into your house with your child, and after 3 weeks after this, and then now you got a restraining order him, and now you begging for him back. I said, you confused little motherfucker.
But Remy, you just said a whole year before you call her your girlfriend. That's a long time to me.
That's a long ass time, though.
Are we planning on spending a lifetime?
Calling me no damn girlfriend.
Are we planning on spending a life together or what? Because a year is nothing to a lifetime.
Wait, but no, we said a year before you call her your girlfriend.
Girlfriend, not
yes. Nigga, yes, it's my nigga. Yes, a year. Why? Because you're not gonna say how long. Because can no man. Okay, the girl I'm with right now.
Wait. So how long does it take to get engaged? Just ballpark.
Anything after that year is good. See, the thing is, can nobody go to the chick that I'm dating and say, hey, how long y'all been dating? 3 months? Hell no, nigga. We've been in this shit for a year. We've been getting to know each other for a year.
No. Okay,
so in that year, so she's allowed to sleep with other people, and you're allowed to sleep with other people.
No, because if we're seriously courting each other, okay, in that 4 months that I didn't sleep with her and I was really getting to know her, in that 4 months of us not sleeping together, and all that shit, you can do what you want to do because we're just getting to know each other. It's 4 months.
So what is the title between month 5 and month 12? What's her title?
Because it's the girlfriend. We've had experiences. We had ups. We have downs. We've gone through things together. Listen, we're solving problems together.
So y'all were only sleeping with each other, but y'all weren't exclusive.
Understand what I'm saying? We don't even have to sleep with each other. And again, that's not the main thing. That's why we didn't sleep together for 4 months. Because again, I want you to know that sex is not my priority with you. I want to really get to know you.
It is. We're not. I'm not accusing you of that being your priority. What I'm saying is you've already let us up together after month 4. So what were y'all doing in that space?
In that 4 months?
Without a title?
In that 4 months, we were going out. I'll pick her up. We'll go out, have a great time, and I'll take you home.
What was the title? What was the dynamic?
Dating. We're dating.
Without a title.
I mean, you go out on dates, don't you? Just like Angela said, she's dating. We're dating.
So wait, hold on.
No. Right. Y'all started sleeping together.
Yeah. So after month 4, what were y'all considered yourself?
Dating, talking, exclusively dating.
Oh yeah,
Oh, so no, wait, hold on.
Yeah,
I heard it.
if
So
you're not ready to
he's
call me
saying,
a woman, but we're not
Well,
exclusively.
the thing is this.
He said no, they were dating exclusively.
We're dating exclusively.
After that point, they were dating exclusively. Okay.
Yeah.
And I still ain't your woman, and we dating exclusively? No.
I mean, well, if you want to get caught up on titles, I mean, get caught up in titles and walk out. Fine. I mean, we're both attractive. We're gonna find somebody who's gonna fall into the program.
Well,
so,
titles matter to you because you specifically said you're not going for a girlfriend for a year. So titles obviously matter to you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, it does. I'm not gonna call nobody my girlfriend under a year because I don't even know you to say that we can get through things together. We got to get through ups and downs.
You know her enough to put your dick in her, but you don't know her enough to call her your girl.
And then what? The thing is, after they put the dick in somebody,
that's not my
priority. This is how you make babies.
That's not my priority. My priority is
just want to.
Priority ain't fucking, but you fucking.
I mean,
before calling her your girlfriend. I'm
pretty sure that y'all have had sex with people that y'all have absolutely no situation together. So I mean, leg up. I mean, what?
Yeah, but that's the case. But I'm not sugarcoating it to be something it ain't.
Yeah, that's the difference. If I'm sleeping with somebody and that's what it is, I'm gonna be honest and say, oh, we're never gonna be in a relationship. But you're meeting my sexual needs that I need right now, and we're on the same page on that.
That's fine. But the thing is,
like in between land between 1 year.
But the difference between year 0 and 12 months is a bond. We're building a bond, and I'm really getting to care about you. We're building a bond together. I see the thing is,
right, but you don't need to be in her snatch to care about her though.
Yeah, you do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Sorry. No. We ain't gonna do that. No. For me to care, yes, I absolutely need to be digging in. I ain't playing. What you talking about? We ain't finna.
They just say that instead of like building this. Well, it's gotta be special kind of thing.
It's not it gotta be special. It's just that I'm not gonna be in no relationship. I'm not gonna call nobody my girlfriend without really getting to know them. It's ups and downs, and if we get to know,
right, I get that. Oh yeah, but here's where the issue lies in that.
Where's your issue in that?
I don't know them well enough to call them my girlfriend, but I know them well enough to.
I'm not calling. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
That's the problem.
I'm not calling anybody my. Okay. The chick that I'm dating now, I introduce her as my girl. That's my girlfriend, but. It's not like I'm just saying like, hey, when we first started dating, I'm just like, yo, this is my girl. This is my girl.
Nobody's talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about specifically what you said.
What?
You said you're not calling anybody your girlfriend if y'all haven't dated. And let me finish before you start talking. If y'all haven't been dating under a year, well, I don't know them well enough. But you know them well enough to put your dick in.
I don't understand what kind of question. I don't understand that because everybody on this thing has had casual sex. So I mean, what?
We're not. No. But we're not up here. Nobody else is on here talking to arbitrary time frame.
So after nigga put his dick in you, that's your boyfriend. So after nigga put his dick in you, that's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
I never said that.
Okay, then. So what are you saying there? Like I don't know the person
you ain't even letting me finish because you won't shut up so I can finish talking.
You fuck people and
nobody else. Child, go ahead and be great. Good night.
Thank you.
Y'all
call him your boyfriend.
I never said that, but again, you want to let me finish. You're explain myself. So you just go be great in your little fairy tale.
I think what you meant. Y'all. I think y'all.
This is the same bullshit of why you have so many baby daddies and baby mamas.
I don't have so many baby daddies and baby mamas. I don't know. You do, but not me. I don't have that. I don't
literally have men who will sit there and he'll be like, "She not wife material," but you going raw in her. That don't make sense.
But who said I was going raw in somebody though?
I never said
she's not saying you. She said people. She said people in general. What I see the thing like. Okay, so I'm gonna put it like this. There's nobody a year. Listen. I'm when you said 4 months, y'all hadn't been intimate. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, okay, bet. If me and a woman are kicking it solid for about 4 months, and then we decide we're dating exclusively, so I see what you're saying. You said 4 months you got to know her, Then y'all, so after 4 months, y'all dating exclusively, and after dating exclusively,
hey, this is my girl.
Once you've known her for a year, you were able to say that's my girlfriend.
I'm just like, yo, this is my girl. I'm not saying, I'm not saying the day that we meet 12 months from today is my girl, but I'm saying, hey, you know what? It's got to be some time in there before I say, yo, this is officially my girl. I get
it. I do see what the ladies are saying though, because that is me personally, man.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah,
I think women. I don't think all women. I don't think we put this arbitrary like, oh, I got to be with a guy for this long before I'm going to call him my boyfriend. If I meet somebody and we're kicking it like a month, and he's like, I want to be exclusive with you, and I just want us to focus on us. I want to be my girlfriend. I'd be like, okay. I would be like, oh no, it hasn't been a year. Like I don't think everybody thinks like they don't have these hard timelines.
I really think a month is way too short. Because you don't even know this person. Like, it really takes 3 to 4 months to get to know somebody. You got, and when I say get to know somebody, when I say get to know somebody, I mean going through ups and downs with somebody, going through, like, people go through things in their lives. I need to know how you handle trauma, how you handle me, how you handle. I need to see you in a family element.
Now, hold on. Let me figure all that out in a year, because I was with somebody for almost 20 and didn't figure most of that out until like
take time.
But hold on. Hold on, why y'all finna kill Remy? Why y'all finna kill Remy? I will say he did say this. After that year, he also said marriage is on the table after that time too. So I think the girlfriend term of the title, I get it, that it does seem a little odd that after that, she's not your girlfriend until then. But for me personally, no, I wouldn't marry nobody that I wasn't in a exclusive relationship for you. We have to have a solid calendar. My stance was give us a solid calendar from the time so my thing was this: if I meet you, we dating, we kicking it within the first date, and let's say 3 weeks or maybe a month, or let's just say at the most 6 weeks. This was my timeline. From the date I met you for about 6 weeks, we dating. If around the 6 week mark, I'm like, hey, let's make this thing real. Let's rock out. You know what I'm saying? Me, you, me, exclusive. And when I say exclusive, you my lady, I'm your man. That sort of thing. From that time, the moment we are in an official relationship, I would set a clock in my brain. I'm like, okay, I do have a clock. If we can last one calendar, because I know what's going to happen in a calendar. In a calendar, we're going to go through some things. In a calendar, we're going to spend some holidays together. In a calendar, we're going to travel. In one calendar, we're going to see some things. And after that calendar, I know for a almost certainty that if I can last in one calendar with a woman, we can do some years as husband and wife. You know what I'm saying? Or go ahead and make that.
Yeah, I think the issue is like once we start, and this is just me speaking for me, but a lot of women do think like once we start, unless you're casual sex, that's what you already established in the beginning. That's different than when I'm trying to date you to be in a relationship and moving towards something that might end in marriage. Yeah, but once you're telling me that I'm only going to sleep with you and this and that, then I consider that being your girlfriend. I don't consider that, because if you're not going to call me your girlfriend, I am going to date other people. Like until you actually say, like, yeah,
I don't agree with exclusivity if we're not making it. Why am I only dating you and you're not my man?
No, okay. Understand.
What were y'all doing
understand
for the rest of that time?
Understand this. We're not even discussing titles. We're just having a good time. We're together. If I want to see you every day, I'm gonna call. No, the thing is, I don't know how y'all define good time. Because the thing is, if I love you and I fuck with you, I want to talk to you every day. I want to be with you every day. I want to see you as much as I. So in my spare time, that's what I'm calling. I'm with you 24/7. So if you want to say, hey, that's my nigga, whatever the case may be, I'm not gonna get caught up on calling you my girlfriend. I got caught up on you calling me your boyfriend. If we get together for a year, now we've been together. We solid. We got each other back. There's a bond there. We've built a bond, a real bond, and we can really have each other back. And we can talk about marriage and build we talk about buying houses together, getting together, getting married, things like that. But I don't give it like that boyfriend girlfriend title.
So it's not the relationship, it's the type. So the word.
What you're saying that you do is what guys do when they're wasting woman's time.
Okay, but yeah, I guess so. Because I mean, I'm sorry you've experienced that, but the thing is, that's not my situation.
But when you say like we're just kicking it and have a good time, that's always code for I'm not trying to be serious for a lot of women.
But
like when you say stuff like that, and the men in my family have told me that. They're like, Angela, when a man wants you, he gonna say it. He is not gonna be like, oh, we could be kicking it, we having a good time. Why do we need titles?
But if a man is calling you every single day to hang out with you, isn't that showing interest every single day?
Listen,
no,
nah.
It doesn't. That just means I'm your favorite hoe right now.
Somebody else is gonna hang out with other people.
That just means I'm your favorite hoe.
Remy.
Oh, wow.
Look, real talk. Remy, you probably your intentions are probably different than what some other guys were. What they're saying is what the ladies are saying is dudes use a lot of the same language you're using, and their intentions are not like their intentions are not long term, and they know their intentions ain't long term, and then they play that game. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the language versus the intent, and sometimes, man, that shit got to line up, because you know what, you might have now you in your relationship, you good, y'all solid, it's cool, but a lot of times, even men, because we don't use the right language, women ain't giving us they're not really committing to it. They looking at us like, oh, okay, he not saying it the way I need to hear it for it need to make sense for me to go ahead and stop taking these dates with these other dudes.
And but another thing is that in my situation that's different. You know, in my situation that's different is that she's also used different language with me too. That helped push me along a little bit faster than normal. Like she would say stuff like, you know, I can say stuff like, but she honestly acted out. She's like, hey man, you know, I'm in this for you, so I'm allow you to lead me in this situation. I mean, honestly, in 39 years, I've never had a woman say, yo, I'm trusting you to lead me. I'm trusting you to lead me. That's giving me a whole nother level of responsibility. Like you've really trusted me with your heart. You trusted me with your whatever what we got going on here, and you put a certain level of responsibility on somebody. I'm like, damn, you know what? I don't really want to fuck with this person. I don't want to break her trust. I don't really want to do anything that's going to fuck up our relationship. So therefore, in this time, I'm really courting you. It's you know what? Let me just say it. Courtship. Is that a better word to use? Courtship.
That's a much better word. That's a much better choice, because what you just said. Because let me tell you, a fuck nigga. I ain't gonna say. I don't know, but there's certain things that if I was dating a woman and I'm more in a casual space, if she said certain things, I would start like, oh no. If a woman was to tell me while I'm bullshitting, well, I'm just gonna let you lead me, and just I'm like, woo, I'm about to lead you into disaster, girl. Let me take my hands off, because I don't want you, because now you said me, because you putting it on me, and if I lead you the wrong way and you trusted me and you bust out my windows because I bullshitted you, you're justified. So at that moment, when they start talking like that, I do want to get into the rest of what this other brother had to say after the other brother, because he kind of it's I don't want to say it's bad, but I'm gonna say it don't.
It's bad for either one who dates.
Now you fall into this real confusing space, and I am dating a young lady that has a lot of potential long term, and these can see it as a distraction, and we still can see it as a way that can slow down my pursuit of my purpose, and not necessarily add. That was well thought out. That was very well thought out, and a good friend too. I love
this one go.
Analogy that he gave about the business.
Yeah.
Okay, brother.
I'm a little nervous about this one.
Just telling you smashing and dashing.
No, I'll be honest, Judge. I'll be honest. I am in a very casual, I guess, time of my life. So with us, it's we want to put all our eggs in this basket, and we want to live very risky because we really are desiring that big payout at the end. So I just can't imagine taking on something, a person as dynamic as a woman and kind of putting her in that situation.
Right.
Because we don't know how long it's going to last, what I mean, until that payout comes. So I do want to be in a much better situation where I have more capacity to care for that woman. And of course, when we get ready to have kids. But I have come to this place now over the past couple of years because I was one of those young men that was saying things like, I don't need to meet my father. I turned out okay. So I really had to dive deep, and get some of that introspection to now understand once I turned 18, once I became a man, so to speak, it's my responsibility now to seek this father out, right? So I've been doing that for the past couple of years. And then also understanding that it's my responsibility to handle everything that comes in front of me,
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping over the next couple of years we can get to where we need to be so I can then start seriously entertaining a woman for, having a future with. But right now, in the casual dating scene, I'm not even seeing that many women that I would take serious interest in, to be honest with you.
Right.
A lot of, I think their ideals come from what's seen on social media. A lot of them that I've experienced have grown up in homes like mine, so they also don't have traditions.
Right.
They also don't understand, what these traditional roles in the household look like. They also are like me, who have been so career driven and so success driven when it comes to being a professional, that you haven't even looked into those other things. You haven't even investigated those other parts of your life, what your relationships look like, what your mind looks like, what your health looks like, and all of those different things. So it is scary, being out there in the field from what I'm seeing. But I'm hoping that if it is true, which I think it is, that as a man thinketh, so is he, that I will be able to put myself in a position to where I'm attracting more of the women who are, along the same mindset to have this very serious relationship.
And let me add to what he said too, right before you go.
Sure, go ahead.
Another thing that a lot of women are missing that we've seen, I think probably the most important thing is what you had. It's that wise counsel. It's that wise elder, right? Or elders that you can go to for genuine counsel.
Yeah, not
I'm
when you get ready.
Pause it right there real quick because that wasn't the part. That wasn't the bad part. But he's basically talking about development. I'm gonna try to find the part. There's a part that's kind of, it's like, bruh, man, he represents men of today and the double standard. I think this is it right here.
I don't, the same thing that makes me attracted to this woman for this this moment in time. So I do agree with you. It's certain things that I can do to position myself to be able to meet, that woman. So yeah, I'm on the same page with you.
Yeah, just different. I always tell women to expand your dating pool by doing different things. If you're going on the same block in the same corner, you're going to meet the same cat. Go do something you've never done before. And then you'll find, there's a whole different set of cats out here doing something completely different. Like,
I'm with you. Now, one thing that does concern me is because it concerns me and it pleases me at the same time, which is women's sexual freedom. So on one side of it, I love it.
Right?
Yeah,
that's the dark side. That's the dark side.
I'm like, girl, be yourself, girl. Listen, don't let them tell you that you can't do this. Listen,
take them drawers off, girl.
Right. And I know it's the first day, but we got a strong vibration going on.
Right. Let's roll with it.
Let's roll with it. But then there's another side of me that's like, man, I don't, the same thing that makes me attracted to this woman for this moment in time is also the same thing that makes me unattracted to this woman in terms of having long-term prospects.
Now let's talk about that. Everybody out here talking about body.
Now hold now.
I get
when he said that,
I'm the only expert in this relationship.
I get
listen, huh?
I said I get it.
It's the worst. It's the worst thing, but it's true. We will sit there and be like, "Damn, girl, you grown? Yeah, girl, we grown. We be free." And then we've decided in our mind in that moment that she no longer qualifies for the end game. It's horrible. You know what I'm saying? And it's horrible. Quit smiling and laughing because because
but you know what's the saddest part about that?
Give it to us, Sheffy.
That,
chew us up.
The saddest part is about that is typically the woman who has done that. You may be the only one.
What do you mean?
And it could be that the vibe was so comfortable for her to let her guard down, to allow you to do that, to allow that first, first night sex or whatever. And then that's the one thing you deem her undateable for.
What do you mean? Like, because I'm the most amazing nigga that you've met in your entire life, that you your whole moral system to me?
Yeah, because look,
it's not necessarily. I wouldn't title it a moral system so much as it's. That woman may have found a certain peace with you that allowed her to trust you, and then this is the thing that you're dinging her on.
All right.
You know what's funny about that? Because it's horrible because men have, this is where groupthink comes in. So many men have sat around and there's a laughing joke. Y'all have seen it on social media. Whenever a woman says, "This is my first time ever doing this," niggas are like, "Bullshit, man." It's like, it's horrible. We don't give women the benefit. I ain't never, girl, you done did this before. And she might be telling the absolute truth.
Let me tell you. One thing.
It's pointless to even leave. Like, it's pointless to even leave. Prove a point. Like, I've never done this. Do your thing. Enjoy yourself. And if later on it comes up, like, have you ever haven't done, then that could be a conversation. But I always think it's funny that people feel moved to say certain. I've never done that. Like, wow.
See, I want to hear about your sexual past. I like a motherfucker that's experienced. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about what turned you out. I want to hear about what turned you out. What grade? How old were you? What was the experience like? What was your first sexual experience like? I need to hear. I ain't gonna say I need to, but I inquire about all of that. I'm gonna ask about all of it.
Yeah, you're a little different. I
need to know. I want to know.
I'm so concerned, and I don't know why I'm so concerned.
That's different. I want to hear about it.
Why?
Why? Because I want to know what your sexual experiences are. I want to know what your experiences are. That's something that it's I don't know. I just like to know about your sexual experiences and what have you done? What haven't you done? What are you willing to try? What is your fantasies? Where are you on this spectrum or whatever?
You're making me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, when we get comfortable.
I see. So okay, I see what you're saying.
You for a year. You don't think I'm gonna ask these questions in a year? I'm gonna get to know you, and I'm gonna ask you because the story's got to match up each time. The fuck?
So what about? Okay, hold on, wait. So are there details that you prefer to be omitted?
No, I want to hear how nasty you are. If you're gonna tell me that, tell me. But I understand that there's some things that you're gonna take to the grave. Take those shits to the grave. But whatever you're comfortable with telling me, let me know. And let me make this determination, because I'm gonna be like, okay.
So pretty much, you want ammunition to judge her on.
Huh?
You want ammunition to judge her by.
Why the fuck am I have ammunition to judge her by? No, it's basically how we're gonna interact sexually. It's okay. Well, shit.
Right, but you also said not long ago about the porn star.
It doesn't have to be from a bad place, Steffi. Like, everything's not coming from a bad place.
Wait.
I didn't say it was.
But you said ammunition to try. It's not talking about. It's not any ammunition.
You gotta understand. And sometimes the way you deliver a message comes off a certain way. So it does sound like you're looking for something to judge her on, because you said, then I'm gonna ask her again to see if she lied.
Yeah, I need to know if you're telling
me. It seems like you're looking to find something to judge her on. So maybe
it's
that's
not necessarily trying
that part makes it seem like that's your intention.
But no, not necessarily. And this is the thing. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It's nothing to be even talking about. I'm gonna be honest about. It's just like some women. Again, I'm just gonna bring back assault. Some women were sexually assaulted. So certain women, you can't hold them certain ways. You can't talk to them in certain ways. You can't be intimate with them in certain aspects. So I need to know, like, were you assaulted? Were you raped? Were you like molested? And it's not gonna come. I'm not gonna straight up and ask you, but it's certain things that I'm gonna see in your mannerisms that's gonna strike me to ask certain things. Like that, if I'm coming at you a certain way and you're in your body language, give me something. I'm just gonna ask about something. I'm just say, hey, what, like, okay, so you know what I'm saying? What was your first sexual experience? Oh, when I was such and such and such and such. Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure most women do not include molestation as a
I
sexual
mean, no, but
experience.
I've been with women who I've held certain ways, and then I'm asking them, why you start crying or why you pulling away and fighting back because I was molested or I was raped. Oh, now I know not to hold you like that no more. Now
I get that, but I'm saying we started off talking about, I want to know about your sexual experiences. Most women don't include rape as a sexual experience.
Yes, but again, they'll also say that they'll say, hey, this has happened to me. And there's some people that just honestly say, hey, my first experience was not the best experience. This is what happened. And I'm just like, oh, well, okay, understood. Like, it just gives me context. Like, I don't know. I just have real conversations.
I get what
I get it. It's just how you're coming across kind of cringy right now.
It sounded a little raw, but I do get what you're saying. For me personally, my conversation has always been, I don't ask what you've done. I've always been like, what are you into? And I kind of leave, because what you're into gives me an idea of what your experience is. Now, then I'll take it a step further. What are some things that you would like to try that maybe you haven't? And then if there are things that they'd like to try that maybe they haven't, then that lets me know, okay. And I'm not judging. Listen, baby, listen, if that's what you listen, we at this age and stage in life. And once I got, man, listen, once you get to a certain age or stage, I'm assuming we've all done just about everything except for a few friends things anyway. But I don't want details. I don't want to know. Oh,
I'm looking more for sexual compatibility. So I don't need to know. I mean, for men, I'm not going to be asking like, well, tell me all your experience. I'd rather it happen casually. Like we're just talking or something and it happens to come up but
I mean, that's how it happens. That's how it happens. It's casual conversation.
Yeah, casual conversation, but I'm not
I'm not laying in bed with my dick out talking about, tell me about the time when you, no, I'm just like, hey.
That's how you coming across right now.
Yeah, people are like interviewing.
No, it's absolutely not. No, it's like casual conversation. Like we might be talking, we might be at dinner. Hey, you know what, shit. Or, you know what I'm saying? We might watch porn. I'm like, hey, just type in the search engine whatever the fuck you want to watch. Okay, you type in something like, okay, have you tried that before? I mean, one time. Oh, well, shit. Tell me about it, man. I don't. Okay.
see. Now, I think that's the part. So the part where have you tried that? And then she's like, oh yeah. Oh, tell me about. See, the tell me about it part. See, that's when you skip past where I'm going, because I don't want you to tell. I don't want you to tell me about it. I don't want you to tell me about it.
And
I'm like, oh, so.
And I really don't.
I don't think I want to tell. Like
some do. No,
I like to hear about shit like that.
No, let me tell y'all something. I dated a woman that it was weird to me, but she wanted to hear some sort of like she wanted. There's two women that I've dated in my life that like to hear and I was like, something's wrong. Why do you want to know that? Now they were into some things on a level. That's all I would say. They were into some things that were just different. Like they were the types that I would just like to watch you with another woman. And I was like, okay, look, you're going down a path. Like, huh?
You went to hell to find them, didn't you?
If I told you who they were, if I told you who they were, because you know two of them.
Yeah, but that's a sexual fetish, though. That's cuckolding. That's not
right.
A lot of people
that's not necessarily cuckolding.
There are people who are into that. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what gets them off. You know, like that's just, you got to find someone who likes the same things. Like if I hear a guy and I'm dating him, he's like, yeah, sex is not. You know, I'm good with sex like once a month. I'd be like, burp. Okay, wait, hold on.
Once a month.
What do you mean by sex only once a month? Like, you know, because like, do you mean like, I need you to define what you mean by that, because I already know that my sex drive is high, but my sex drive is well evolved though too. It doesn't always mean intercourse. So there's other ways to connect besides just intercourse. But you know, but I do like to have sex more than once a week if nobody's sick or something like that, or you know, realistically. So I be listening, you know, and I do want a guy that's, you know, open-minded to sex and doesn't mind sex toys. You know, when he's like, oh, there's no sex toys in my relationship. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to work because I like sex toys. So unless if you're not going to come around to something that gives me pleasure and give you pleasure, because there are a lot of men out there that just don't want to even explore sex toys whatsoever. It's a no. It's a hard no.
I got a question. Yeah.
They still out here missionary and dog.
So wait, hold on, wait. So if the guy, so I got a question, Angela. If the guy wants you to strap him, would you strap him?
Oh hell no.
We'll have to have a conversation about that, but I'm not gonna get into like what's right and what's wrong because everybody's different and everybody's allowed to have what gets them off. It's just you just need to open
no kink shaming.
Yeah.
I was about to say no.
I mean,
Whoa, y'all know what?
I mean, like personally, like I'll be honest, like I've gone to sex clubs before, and I think some guys are not going to go to that, but I don't like to swap. I just think of it as live porn, or something like that. But I don't like to swap though. That's not my thing. Like because again, nurse diseases, I get too paranoid, but. But I think sometimes people need to be in an adult environment where there's this lots of sex going on, but it's not for everybody. I like having sex in public. A lot of people do not like that. They're like, oh my God, that's what you did when you're 18. I'm like, oh no, I'll do it now. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting, but I've definitely met men who were just like, ain't no way. We're not having sex in a car. That's so juvenile, and I'm thinking it's
only the bedroom.
Only in the bedroom.
Only in the bedroom.
Only in the bedroom.
And then there are women out there like that too. I mean, who are like, oh no, I'm not going to send my they don't want to send they don't want a sex. I'm like, well, just send them your lip. They're like, no. I'm like, come on, a lip? You can't give me just a lip or a shoulder or like they're not flexible at all when it comes to not making your sex life boring. Like it's boring. It's boring.
I'm gonna play this last segment from them or last part of it because I just would like that double standard. Look, again, we men, all we can do is smile and laugh about it, but it is a thing. We will enjoy the things that we abhor and then turn around and just be like, well, I enjoyed it. Now let me judge. Now let me move on. It's bad. It is.
It's not sad. It's not sad.
It's bad because you leave women hurt in the process when you guys.
We like to ride roller coasters, just not every day.
All right, let me let Judge Toler get to this next part, and then we're gonna shut it down.
About body count. That really matters to you.
Yes.
Now, is it just the number, or is it how a woman with a large body count carries herself?
I would say it's how they would carry themselves. And it's the number too. I mean, because to me, it factors into the decision making, like how this person makes decisions. So if I'm, this is, and women know that, right? So, just like it's women that will say, hey, I dated this person and this person who may have been celebrities or on this higher caliber, right? So they know, I'm judging them based on the type of men that they're able to, attract, to pull. So if a woman is saying she's been with, numerous amounts of guys, I'm just thinking in my mind, her standard is low.
And let me add to that, because if you think about it, not many people have $1 million in their bank account. So I know if somebody has been able to acquire $1 million in their bank account, that it's not just about that number. It's about the mindset it took to acquire $1 million. I could probably tell some things about you that allowed you to accrue that amount of wealth. So again, if you telling me that you've had X amount of sexual partners, I can probably assume there's a mindset that goes along with you being able to build up this many sexual partners. That probably leads back to your standards. That probably leads back to your morals. That probably leads back to your upbringing. That probably leads back to your friend groups. It leads back to where your environments are and where you've been in life. So much is connected to that. So it's not necessarily just a number.
So what does your body count say about your upbringing, your morals, your background, and your decision making?
So see, that's a 100% great questions, because as men, for a man to have copious amounts of sex, right? It's a little bit different from women because, you know, a woman, you know, she could be broke as hell.
That's true.
Not much.
That's true.
And I mean,
she got to do is throw the legs up.
You throw the legs up and you could do it. Now, for a man to do this, he either has to have built up some skill sets in himself. He has to build up a level of success in himself. He has to build himself to a certain point to have multiple sexual partners. Now, that's not to say that is constructive at all times, and it's not distracting to have copious amounts of sexual partners for a man. But I do feel like it's a little bit of a difference with a man and a woman, having high sexual activity. Now, for me personally, I would say some of it did not come from the best place because I grew up with an uncle, man, that was just a legendary player.
Just out there.
I'm talking about and this.
And so I'm gonna stop it right there. You know what I'm saying? Because we running a little long, but you can see he was kind of drawing that distinction that men basically get away with it, women kind of don't. And we've talked about it before, but you know, men judge that stuff differently. Now, Judge Toler does go on to say, and she talks about what she would tell her daughter, and she says, you know, she would tell her daughter, hey, keep that count low because this is the way the world is, and this is how men think. But are we getting to a place and space where this is starting to change? Like, is this going to change sooner rather than later? I think we're getting to a point in our social history to where men are going to relax more on this body count shit, as long as they don't have to deal with the results of it. Do y'all think that's where we're getting?
That's where we are.
I feel like
so we're already there.
It's a matter of. I feel like it's a matter of how you're showing up present. I feel like a man is going to question your background based on how you're showing up now. There are many people have you been with based on how you're showing up now. If you present yourself in is, you know, something that they want to go for, they're not thinking about your past, because whatever your past is, this is what the result is. Like you're presenting to me based on whatever. So I'm not thinking about that. I feel like like me when it comes out, what do you come from? What's your background? Because, you know, I think that question is more inclined to come up whenever some people stands out that's not something that you like.
Right. Okay. That I think I tend to agree a little bit with that. How a woman shows up makes it less likely that we will question certain things. I think there's definitely something to that. What do you think, Angela? Like, are we now getting to a place where body count just doesn't hold the same weight? Because we don't expect women to be virgins no more. Who would have thought we would ever got past that, right? Now, are we getting to that place where we're caring a little bit less as long as they show up in a certain way?
Yeah, I just think if you have a conversation about, you know, you get tested over exclusive and that's it. I don't really ask. I just assume men have already been with a bunch of people. I don't even get into those kind of conversations. And honestly, I've never had men ask me, well, how many people have you had?
Yeah.
And if I did, I was going to say 2 and lie and keep it moving.
There you go.
Like, why would
there
I?
you go.
I'm just being honest. And I tell women, like, don't tell men that, you know, that you can't even tell men that you're dating more than one person because they feel like you're playing. So it's best to be like, just tell them that you're. Say again.
Then you weed out the ones that's from. I say you gotta tell them you dating other people.
Oh, I mean, but a lot of men, when they know up front that you're dating 2 or 3 of them, they feel like you're using them. And so I'm like, but that's what dating is. So I don't even say anything anymore.
They're not.
I'm like, if you want to, if you
so
want to be number one, if you want to be number one, then you need to like prove it, and then I won't be dating anybody no more. But you know, but at the same token, you know, you can't get mad and
that
be like,
is
you want to.
That is some true. Let me tell you, man. I don't ask. I used to never ask. I had no idea. I always assumed that when I met it, if I'm interested in you, I know, because I like to think that I have good goddamn taste. So if I'm interested in a woman, I'm assuming that some other dudes are shooting that shot too. What I do believe is, and my arrogance outweighs whatever it really is. And I'm thinking to myself, well, them niggas is on a time clock. And I would even say such things. I'm like, oh, don't worry. I'm like, baby, don't. I'm like, enjoy yourself. You know, have a good time. The mother niggas is on the clock right now. Don't worry, it's about over with. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? You can send your goodbye text, and you can start deleting numbers because I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
I just think that until someone, and something that I had to learn as I got older, and I tell other women now, until a man tells you that you're exclusive with each other, always assume that he's fucking somebody else. Always. Yeah. Never. So you should always protect yourself. You should always use a condom until he says out of his mouth, you are the only person that I am sexually involved with. You should always assume that he's seeing and being with other people, and you should do the same. But men do not like that. They don't like hearing, oh, well, I'm going to see other people too. They do not like that. So it's better not to say nothing at all. Just let them think that they're the only one. And that's it. Like, don't even tell them that you're seeing other people. This is where honesty does not work in your. This is where honesty does not work in your favor as a woman. This is where honesty does work in your favor.
Speak about that deception, Frank. Speak about that deception.
Come on camera for this. I was eating. I ain't
It's not deception. It's just being like most men. They're like, oh, she's seeing more than two people. She's not serious. I'm like, but that's what dating is for. So men like to get that. They love that option, but they don't like women having that option.
Nope.
Honestly,
I feel like serious men. I'm sorry, Frank.
I wouldn't have a problem with it. If I was dating, I knew I wasn't serious about you. I wouldn't have a problem with you dating other people. I definitely wouldn't do anything with you sexually until it was exclusive, because too much rain and dirt create too much mud. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, though. Dating doesn't equal sex, though. That's the problem.
But what I'm saying, I'm assuming that
you're dating three people that you're sleeping with them. Like, I personally do not do that.
What I'm saying, I'm not saying that it equates to. I'm not saying that it means just because you're dating them, it means that you're screwing them too. But I'm it does happen. So I'm just gonna assume until you're exclusively dating me, you might be out there screwing somebody else. I mean, women got needs just as much as men do, especially these days.
Right. But I hate when men will write you off, though. I've definitely seen that in other groups. They're like, "Oh, she's dating more than one man."
I feel like that's necessary.
I'd be like, shit, this is what everybody pussy feel like. Ooh, this is nice. Goodbye. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna say exactly how this is gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm not interested in a person that would expect me to sit around and just be available to them. And if that is gonna run a man away, that's not somebody that we're not gonna click in. So I'd rather be honest and say, yes, I'm dating. I'm actively dating. If you're not feeling it.
Yeah, I've never really dated somebody. Well, if I'm dating somebody, they just want to. They just want to see me again the next day, and then they want to see me again the next day. Like, it's not really like an option for somebody else.
You got to move like a colonizer. You got to colonize and occupy time. It's like, listen, when I went on a date and it was hitting. Unless I was unless circumstances or something happened, but if I went on a date, I was like, oh shit, okay, this was a great date. I'm looking forward to seeing you the next time, and then I'm planning, and then I'm planning, so I always think that a man that's intentional, we're not overthinking the prospects of her dating somebody else, because she probably is, but we moving in a certain direction. I'm thinking to myself,
you monopolize her time, so she ain't.
Yeah, exactly. I'm taking over. Exactly. You thought you had a free weekend. Wrong. You're going to lunch. You thought you were going to be free the next day.
I did want to say.
1 year, and then you married.
Yep.
See how that works?
Well, I did want to say the two men that you showed, they speak so eloquently, and it's great. But are they saying the same thing to the women that they're meeting and saying, "Hey, I'm just casually dating, because I just felt like, especially in my 20s and 30s, a lot of men did not say that.
No. In the 20s, no. Men are not saying that in their 20s. No. Most men ain't saying that in their 20s. I do think some of us, when we get to our 30s, we do put, if we don't want no smoke. See, when you learn as a man, you don't want no trouble, you start putting things out there that are indicative of exactly where you are. You know what I'm saying? You say, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship right now.
Yeah, and I've definitely met men who have been honest about that, but I've definitely met men who were not honest. Like, especially men who like just got divorced. They're like, they're like, they are very upfront. Like, oh, I just got a divorce. We can kick it. We can hang out, but my kids are my priority right now. I just cannot be in a relationship, and I'm not looking for one. So divorced men, they always say that shit. That's great. But up until my mid 30s and stuff like that, like, people were not always honest. I don't think men, I just want to know if they're telling women what they just said in that conversation. Are they saying, hey, I'm still working on me and I not looking to really be in a relationship? Because it seems like that would cut across a lot of heartache and confusion.
Absolutely it would, man. If more dudes would talk, I'm telling you now, in this day and age, more dudes, if we were really upfront, yes, it is going to cut off. A lot of women gonna see that and they're gonna go the other direction. I personally believe, man, you got to give them that. You got to give them that two-way go to say, you know what, okay, I'm gonna still rock with it or not, because every woman's not gonna just go cry in the car. I'm telling you now that you might be the third dude in the last year that she trusted that said they said what they said, and now you're not. You catching the smoke because the last 4 dudes pulled that shit. So now you finna catch all the smoke, bro. Man, I would urge dudes, hey man, just keep it 100, keep it a buck, bro. But
they don't want to, because that lowers their chances of getting the cookie.
Get that,
hey
man.
That's the problem.
They want to live another day. This is so important. Like, there's so many.
Hey man, you live to fight another day. Stop playing with these women.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys are on the panel and mature and stuff like that, and you're like but dealing with
that's questionable.
Having dealt with so many women, because I am in a female studio and stuff like that, I hear these stories so much. It's just like, oh my God, I thought we were going someplace, but he just was like off, and like, and then he didn't want a relationship, and like it's just the leading. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, well, how long has it been? Oh, it's been 7 months. I'm like, what? And like, yeah, like, so there's like no talk about where this is going, and I'm still shocked I'm still hearing this stuff on a weekly basis, like all the time. So, but again, I think it goes back to men don't say it, because then it cuts the chance of getting the cookie, and so they don't want to cut the chance out. And I'm like, just go to a prostitute. Why can't you just go to a prostitute? Or there's women out there who don't want a relationship.
They usually don't look too good. They usually don't look. They usually ain't the best looking ones. We want the one that look good too. It's usually the ones that are like, yeah, I do it. It sounds. She look like, yeah, I do it. You don't want her. We want the one that's like, oh no, that's not for me. I'd rather not. Yeah, she sounds like she looks. So you're like, yeah, girl, shit, I'm looking for.
Well, I just think that men want women to sweat them. They want women to sweat them and like do this and do that. When a woman just wants sex, and she's like, Ben, take your clothes off. Let's get it. I'm gone. And men do not. I swear, men do not like being treated.
No, because we've been conditioned. They don't
like being treated like that. They don't like being
especially if we like you. Not when we like a woman. Not when we like a woman, man. Because I've heard a lot of dudes, affirm that, man. It's one thing to want something casual, but the dudes, because in our brain, y'all always want relationships. See, in y'all's brain, we always want sex. In our brains, y'all always want relationships. So when it's flipped, and you say, "Oh, this is casual," okay, cool. And then when it is casual, when he's like, "All right, bet it's casual," okay, cool. And then you get up, put your clothes on, and you ain't spending the night. He's sitting there like, I thought we was gonna get brunch in the morning, and you're like, oh no, baby, I do that with my man. I'm sorry, I gotta go. I gotta be up to do this in the morning. I don't spend the night. And dude be hurt. Dude, they pick up the phone. They get in the manosphere groups. They start talking about these women. You sexually read these hoes. Like, he hurt because he didn't know he was gonna like you too. See, he didn't know that. He thought you were just a jump off, and that's all it was gonna be. But then he like, oh, she's dope. But you've already put him in a category, and now he don't know how to. We don't know, because that's not. We wasn't taught that shit. We were taught that y'all all wanted to get married.
Man, I got this bitch that after we had sex back in the day, she just get up and say thank you and walk out and thank you, get dressed and leave.
I like how you dropped that back in the day real quick. You dropped that back in the day there real quick, boy. That was smooth, boy. That was smooth the way you did that, boy. Back in the day, back in the day is anything before that girlfriend, ain't it, boy? That boy smart.
I don't need that. Cause look, I'm heading down the path of you and Frank, man. But
hey,
but yeah, she say thank you, moving on. And but again, I categorized her. Look, there ain't no way she's gonna ever be anything but casual. And then she came to me, hey, I want a relationship. No, you said thank you, goodbye. No.
I do think we've summed it up that honesty is the best policy and all this. There was a lot more with Judge Toler, man. Maybe we can get into it in another segment. And we did not get into our arranged marriage segment. Sheffy, I promise you, when you get back, we're gonna do the arranged marriage thing, because the Indian culture is responding to it, and their new generation, they pushing back. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all. I've kept y'all for 3 hours and 30 minutes, and we've had a good time. Remington got cussed out. Got halfway cussed out by Sheffy as per you.
Remy,
look, I'm gonna tell him how it is always.
Remy and Sheffy got to kiss and make up. So
man,
I just be myself. I'm gonna always be myself, and that's what I think. That's super authentic.
Remy just extra, but Remy's not disrespectful, so we appreciate it. He definitely don't get disrespectful. Y'all just get to talking over each other, and the words start whirling. Y'all can't figure it out. Then by the end, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So it's beautiful.
Yeah. Remy just get excited. That's all.
I do be excited.
Like I know. Got that hey, them dudes with long hair. It's them dudes. If them dudes with long hair, it's the dudes with the long hair. They don't care about nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man,
y'all have a good night.
I love this group, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, y'all.